Hello, YouTube peoples. I am Insane Lane, and welcome to Book Club. I am not still getting ready because I'm desperately behind. Pay no attention to the rumors. I forgot to put the tie on. Sitting right in front of me. Why does StreamYards always think it's last week? There's a second time it has popped up saying, hey, you're live with the thing you did last time. Is that me? Am I screwing that up? I might be. We'll figure it out. I'm ill, by the way. I'm very sick. I'm also freezing intermittently because I have a fever and it's doing that hot cold thing that sucks. Alrighty. Okay, dog and the cat are going after each other. They've been at war over the puppy's pillow. Because it's his pillow. But the kitty keeps sleeping on it and taking his spot, and he doesn't like that. So, what happened last week? We got to the end of the book. Oh, and one more thing I need to do. I'm sorry, I'm incompetent today. Well, I'm incompetent every day, but especially today. We got to the end of the book. We had the official proposal, the grand romantic gesture kind. We had her revealing she'd already said yes, which is disturbing in its own way if you think about when she gave him the keychain that said yes. We had the resolution of the helicopter crash, kind of. I don't think that probably won't even be brought up in this book. We are starting new tonight. We're starting fresh with 50 Shades Freed chapters. Well, at least one. I'm committing to one, but I'm not committing to two for sure because I don't feel well. Okay, box of wine, really hard to open. Okay, got that. So, some things that I know happen in this book, as I said, I did not fully read this one. I started reading it and then I moved and it got lost, and so I just never finished it. And then when I found it, it was like, I was reading other things, and so I just never finished it. So I only know, I know the movie. I've seen the movie. I usually, when I want to make fun of something, I only watch the first one because they do get worse. Just in terms of like the first one, the way they got it to work was by hiring incredibly overqualified and extremely talented people to make this giant pile of crap into something that resembled a movie. But those people were one-time hires. They did not sign on to the whole series, so the quality of the cinematography, etc., goes down. And I just remember the thing I remember, probably about the only thing I remember from the third one, is that the green screen honeymoon, because it is the most obvious thing in the world that they are just literally standing in front of a giant green screen that is then projecting an image of Versailles and the Hall of Mirrors and all that. They're not really in any of these places. There's one where they're on bikes too, and like the bikes don't even look like they're moving. And they're supposed to be like in Paris or something. I don't know why the movie didn't actually tell us where they were. It's like, you should just know all these famous places, but they weren't even like iconic famous places. Like I only recognize one or two. The rest could be, you could tell me it's like any city and it would be, yeah, of course that's that place because it doesn't look like anything. Oh, my legs will not stop cramping. Okay. Got water, got soda, got a snack if I need one. Got puppy somewhere. I think he's having dinner. He is working on his quest to fit an entire bowl of kibble in his mouth. Because he knows that someday this is going to be possible. It will happen. He'll be able to get the whole bowl of kibble in his mouth one of these days. All right, all rise for the national anthem.
If you're still struggling with consent,
Please let there
just
be
imagine
sound.
instead of initiating sex, you're making them a cup of tea. You say, "Hey, would you like a cup of tea?" And they go, "Oh my God, I would love a cup of tea, thank you." Then you know they want a cup of tea. If you say, "Hey, would you like a cup of tea?" And they're like, I'm not really sure." Then you can make them a cup of tea, or not, but be aware that they might not drink it. And if they don't drink it, then, and this is the important bit, don't make them drink it. Just because you made it doesn't mean you're entitled to watch them drink it. And if they say, "No thank you," then don't make them tea. At all. Just don't make them tea. Don't make them drink tea. Don't get annoyed at them for not wanting tea. They just don't want tea, okay? They might say, "Yes, please, that's kind of you." And then when the tea arrives, they actually don't want the tea at all. Sure, that's kind of annoying as you've gone to all the effort of making the tea, but they remain under no obligation to drink the tea. They did want tea, now they don't. Some people change their mind in the time it takes to boil the kettle, brew the tea, and add the milk. And it's okay for people to change their mind, and you are still not entitled to watch them drink it. And if they are unconscious, don't make them tea. Unconscious people don't want tea, and they can't answer the question, "Do you want tea?" because they're unconscious. Okay, maybe they were conscious when you asked them if they wanted tea, and they said yes, but in the time it took you to boil the kettle or brew the tea and add the milk, they are now unconscious. You should just put the tea down, make sure the unconscious person is safe, and this is the important part again, don't make them drink the tea. They said yes then, sure, but unconscious people don't want tea. If someone said yes to tea, started drinking it, and then passed out before they'd finished it, don't keep on pouring it down their throat. Take the tea away. Make sure they are safe, because unconscious people don't want tea. Trust me on this. If someone said yes to tea around your house last Saturday, that doesn't mean they want you to make them tea all the time. They don't want you to come around to their place unexpectedly and make them tea and force them to drink it, going, "But you wanted tea last week." Or to wake up to find you pouring tea down their throat, going, "But you wanted tea last night." If you can understand how completely ludicrous it is to force people to have tea when they don't
Excuse
want
me.
tea, and you are able to understand when people don't want tea, then how hard is it to understand when it comes to sex? Whether it's tea or sex, consent is everything. And on that note, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea.
All right. My friend that I normally am talking to right now just sent me. He gets the New York Times games ahead of me because he's ahead of me in time, and they update at midnight. We always do the connections together, but not tonight because time change. So we're an hour further apart than we normally would be, which sucks. Kitty agrees with me. He's just complaining about the time change. Ours actually catches up tonight. We get to do 2 a.m. twice tonight, so that evens it back out. But it's annoying for the 1 week that it's off, and it's like, why did we do that? It used to be the same. It worked fine when it was the same. Did we really need to change it? You know? Answer no, we didn't. We just did. All right, official 50 Shades Freed. Here we go. And if it's freed, should those cuffs not be visibly open? Like, you can tell they're not locked, but they should be open if it's called freed. Like, come on. I know this is the laziest cover ever, but you could have done one thing right. There's literally like 5 pages that are just the title and acknowledgments and the title. All right, prologue. This is the super sappy, make you gag and think that Christian Grey is a human being and make you feel bad for him and justify all his abuse because he had a crappy childhood part. So you've been warned. This is going to be so saccharine. Mommy, mommy, mommy is asleep on the floor. Great opening line. She's been asleep for a long time. I brush her hair because she likes that. She doesn't wake up. I shake her. Mommy, my tummy hurts. It is hungry. He isn't here. I am thirsty. In the kitchen, I pull a chair to the sink and I have a drink. The water splashes over my blue sweater. Mommy is still asleep. Mommy, wake up. She lies still. She is cold. I fetch my blankie and I cover Mommy, and I lay down on the sticky green rug beside her. Mommy's still asleep. I have 2 toy cars. They race by the floor where Mommy is sleeping. I think Mommy is sick. I search for something to eat. I find the freezer. In the freezer, I find peas. They are cold. I eat them slowly. They make my tummy hurt. If this is obviously supposed to be the internal thoughts of like a 4-year-old, kids are not this coherent. They're tiny little balls of chaos that will just randomly go off in a billion directions at once and have no idea why they did any of it. I sleep beside Mommy. The peas are gone. In the freezer is something. It smells funny. I lick it and my tongue is stuck to it. I eat it slowly. It tastes nasty. I drink some water. I play with my cars. I sleep beside Mommy. Mommy is so cold and she won't wake up. The door crashes open. I cover Mommy with my blankie. He's here. Fuck. What the fuck happened here? Oh, the crazy fucked up bitch. Shit, fuck. Get out of my way, you little shit. He kicks me, and I hit my head on the floor. My head hurts. He calls somebody, and he goes. He locks the door. I lay down beside Mommy. My head hurts. The lady policeman is here. No, no, no. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I stay by Mommy. No, stay away from me. The lady policeman has my blankie, and she grabs me. I scream. Mommy, Mommy, I want my Mommy. The words are gone. I can't say the words. Mommy can't hear me. I have no words. This is not at all like this is oh my god. Where are you in your head when you're writing that? And she has kids. So I would assume she tried to like remember her own kids at that age and like, how 4-year-olds act. Christian, Christian. Her voice is urgent, pulling him from the depths of his nightmare, the depths of his despair. You didn't need both those lines. I'm here, I'm here. He wakes and she's leaning over him, grasping his shoulders, shaking him. Her face etched with anguish, blue eyes wide and brimming with tears. Really? Really? She's gonna cry because he's having a nightmare? Anna. His voice is a breathless whisper, the taste of fear tarnishing his mouth. You're here. What does fear taste like? Of course I'm here. I had a dream. I know, I'm here, I'm here. Anna, he breathes her name, and it's a talisman against the black, choking panic coursing through his body. He inhaled one of the, why can I not think? Shapeshifters from Picard. Can't believe I'm referencing that show. Don't watch it, it's terrible. It's insultingly bad. Genuinely. Hush, I'm here. She curls around him, her limbs cocooning him, her warmth leaching into his body, forcing back the shadows, forcing back the fear. She is sunshine. She is light. She is his. Had to get there. We're not even into chapter 1. We're in the fucking prologue, and we already have a "You Are Mine" statement. I should keep a tally of those this time. How many times does he possessively say it? Because like I've known couples that say to each other like, "You're mine" or "I've got you, babe" or stuff like that. And if it's in like, a decent relationship, and that's okay, but this is different. Because he definitely means like I own you, I possess you, you are my property, and I will do whatever I want to you. Please, let's not fight. His voice is. Where's the fighting? I'm just looking back. Where the fuck are that? Nobody is fighting. His voice is hoarse as he wraps his arms around her. That's the second time. Okay, the vows. No obeying. I can do that. We'll find a way. The words rush out of his mouth in a tumble of emotion and confusion and anxiety. Yes, we will. We always find a way, she whispers. And her lips are on his, silencing him, bringing him back to the now. She's figured out that the only thing to do, like when he's either panicking or angry, is to give him sex. He has conditioned her to absolutely do this. Apparently, they were fighting over the vows, and she didn't want to say the word obey, and he, of course, wanted her to because that's all he wants. It's the only word of the vows that he cares about. He doesn't care about love, honor, cherish. No, it's obey me. I am putting a ring on it because I am like very much a slave situation. But that's the end of the prologue. Hi, puppy. Hello, you. Oh, somebody wants to say hi. Okay, we have a puppy. Here he is. Here's the puppy. Oh, yes. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to set up the duck stage, didn't I? I'm sorry. I will retrieve Ralph momentarily. There's a dog on me. Hi. You're kind of in the way. Yeah, I know you don't care. I'm aware of that. I'm aware that you like it here and you'd like to stay here and lick my face. Okay, that's enough licking. Thank you. Yes. I just put makeup on. I don't need you to take it off. He thinks it's his job because that's what the other dog that I used to have who raised him and trained him taught him to do. Fun fact, my other dog's name was Christian. No, he is not named for these books. I had him before the books. Yes, Christian taught you that makeup on my face is dirty and your job is to clean it. He could lick off an entire eye in like one swipe. He was very efficient. Okay, we had enough cuddling now. I have to read a book. He's giving me big pouty don't put me down eyes. I know, but I have to put you down so I can read the book, okay? No, this is not okay. Not acceptable in puppy world. Okay, tell everyone that the stream elements link is at the top of the chat. And for $10, you get to name a new duck that I will draw out of a bag. Or for $25, I will put on handcuffs, which are somewhere. And for $50, I will chug a glass of wine. Please don't make me do that tonight. My stomach's been off all day. Why didn't I change that? Sorry about that. No, good baby. He is such a good boy. But yeah, the stream element should be working. It was working last week. I have not touched it. In theory, it's still working. Now that I got it figured out how it's got to work in Canada, that is what was screwing me up. That's why I couldn't connect it, because their usual service that they use to process payments through is not allowed in Canada. So I had to set it up a completely different way, which I didn't know. They really should have like something on their site that, like, when you, because you tell it what country you're from, like when it says you're in Canada, there should just be a pop-up that's like, hey, because you're in Canada, you have to do things a little differently, because that would have helped. Hello, everyone coming in. I see a couple more people. Say hi in the chat. Do you have any fur babies with you? Chapter 1. The beginning of the end of the first round. Why did she write these twice? We all know. For the money. I know. And because Stephanie Myers got bitched off when her story got leaked online. Rightly so. I'm not saying she shouldn't have been pissed. I would have been livid. I stare up through the gaps in the seagrass parasol at the bluest of skies. Summer blue. Mediterranean blue. with a contented sigh. Christian is beside me, stretched out on a sun lounge. My husband. My hot, beautiful husband. One page! We're at the top of page 1, and we get reminded that he's an Adonis. Like, we get it. He's ripped and he's hot, okay? The only scene I ever thought Jamie Dornan looked actually hot in the entire series of the movies was when he does the planking on the pommel horse. That's the only scene where I thought he looked like attractive. I think that's partly because he's smirking his way through the entire movie, intentionally so. He admitted it, and he just has such a smug, condescending look on his face the entire time that all I want to do is punch him. Oh, later on, I discovered a disgusting fact about those movies. I'll get to it later on. I'll find a good spot to tell it because in all these years, it's one I'd never heard before, but it is true. I verified. Shirtless and in cutoff jeans, is reading a book predicting the collapse of Western society. Hello, Susie. Susie is me. Good evening. I like your little peace symbol. That's cute. Why does it smell like burnt chicken? Maybe somebody's barbecuing. Is reading a book predicting the collapse of the Western banking system. By all accounts, it's a page turner. I haven't seen him sit this still ever. He looks more like a student than a hotshot CEO of one of the top privately owned companies in the United States. Did we need to clarify that it's a privately owned company? I'm not surprised because if it was a publicly owned company, then he'd have like a board of directors that he would have to answer to, and we both know that's not going to happen because he has to control everything. So he will never take his company public. We know this. On the final leg of our honeymoon, your honeymoon has legs? Okay, you overplanned if that's true. On the final leg of our honeymoon, we laze into the afternoon sun on the beach of the aptly named Beach Plaza Monte Carlo in Monaco. Although we're not actually staying in this hotel. Are you allowed to just go use their beach if you're not staying there? I'm not sure that you are. Most hotels are like, hey, this is our beach. It's for our guests. I open my eyes and gaze out at the fair lady anchored in the harbor. We're staying, of course, on board a luxury motor yacht. Of course, because of course. You can just stay in a hotel. Built in 1928. She floats majestically on the water, queen of all the yachts in the harbor, of course. She looks like a child's wind-up toy. Christian loves her. I suspect he's tempted to buy her. Honestly, boys and their toys. It's true. Very true. Sitting back, I listen to the Christian Grey mix on my new iPod. Is this like the third new iPod he's bought her? And doze in the late afternoon sun, idly remembering his proposal. Oh, his dreamy proposal in the boathouse. I can almost smell the scent of the meadow flowers. Because Twilight reference, you. Can we marry tomorrow? Christian murmurs softly in my ear. I'm sprawled on his chest in the flowery bower in the boathouse, sated from our passionate lovemaking. They really will just fuck anywhere, won't they? Is that a yes? I hear his hopeful surprise. A no? I sense his grin. Miss Steele, are you incoherent? I grin. He laughs and hugs me tightly, kissing the top of my head. Vegas, tomorrow it is then. Sleepily, I raise my head. I don't think my parents would be very happy with that. He thrums his fingertips up and down on my naked back, caressing me gently. Thrums? He's doing. This is thrumming. This is thrums. That would annoy the shit out of me if somebody was doing that on my back. What do you want, Anastasia? Vegas? A big wedding with all the trimmings? Tell me. Not big, just friends and family. I gaze up at him, moved by the quiet entreaty in his glowing gray eyes. Always What is with her making people's eyes close? Stop it. He's not a vampire. What does he want? Okay, he nods. Where? I shrug. We could do it here, he asks tentatively. Your folks' place? Would they mind? He snorts. My mother would be in seventh heaven. Okay, here. I'm sure my mom and dad would prefer that. He strokes my hair. Could I be any happier? Oh, I like this. Yeah, okay, I think we're good. So we established where, now the when. Surely you should ask your mother. Hmm. Christian's smile dips. She can have a month. That's it. I want you too much to wait any longer. You already have her. The wedding is like literally unimportant. It's not going to change anything. They're pretty much living together. They're definitely fucking on the reg. Like, you don't need to rush the wedding, dude. But his thing, of course, is I must own you, and marrying her is the ultimate form of possession in this case. I'm not saying marriage is about possessing each other. It's not. But in this case, that is how it's being used. Because obviously, like, the word divorce does not occur to this man. He will never let her go. So, it's very much the old school Christian Catholic ideal of there is no such thing as divorce. Like the Catholic Church, I don't know, like I think it was like the 70s or maybe even the 80s before they allowed divorce. And yeah, people stayed in horrible marriages that they shouldn't have stayed in because the priest said, well, you're married for life, so better or worse. And it's like, no, that's not what it meant. Doesn't mean you have to stay with the guy who is beating you to death. That's not what that was intended to. That is how Christian Grey is applying it, though. Very old world. I kiss his chest, a soft, chaste kiss, and smile up at him. You'll burn, Christian whispers in my ear, startling me from my doze. Good to go right from talking about weddings to you'll burn. I would almost call that clever and like some subtle, like, religious commentary. But it's definitely unintentional. That or an editor did it. Only for you. I give him my sweetest smile. The late afternoon sun has shifted, and I am under its full glare. He smirks and in one swift move pulls my sun lounge into the shade of the parasol. We're out of the Mediterranean sun, Mrs. Gray. Thank you for your altruism, Mr. Gray. The hell? Stop doing that. Stop referring to each other by your last name. It's not cute. My pleasure, Mrs. Gray. And I'm not being altruistic at all. That's true, he's not. If you burn, I won't be able to touch you. He raises an eyebrow, his eyes shining with mirth, and my heart expands. But I suspect you know that, and you're laughing at me. Do we really think her having a sunburn would stop him from doing whatever the hell he wanted anyway? I most certainly do not. Would I gasp, feigning innocence. Yes, you would, and you do, often. It's one of the many things I love about you. He leans down and kisses me, playfully biting my lower lip. Ew. I was hoping you'd rub me down with more sunscreen. I pout against his lips. Mrs. Gray, it's a dirty job, but that's an offer I can't refuse. Ew, again, ew, this is not cute flirting. This is just black. Sit up, he orders in his husky voice. I do as I'm told. To get used to that thought. That is going to be your only thought. And with slow, meticulous strokes from long, supple fingers, he coats me in sunscreen. That is one of those things that always sounds like it should be sexy, but it's just not. It's like showering with somebody else. Good idea at the time. In practicality, one of you is always cold. You're really very, you really are very lovely. I'm a lucky man. I literally read that as lonely. He murmurs as his fingers skim over my breast, spreading the lotion. Yes, you are, Mr. Gray. I gaze coyly up at him through my lashes. Modesty becomes you, Mrs. Gray. Turn over, I want to do your back. Smiling, I roll over and he undoes the back strap of my hideously expensive bikini, meaning it's got like 2 inches of fabric. Just for some reason, the more expensive the bikini, the less there is of it. How would you feel if I went topless like the other women on the beach? I ask. Displeased, he says without hesitation. I'm not very happy about you wearing so little right now. He leans down and whispers in my ear, Don't push your luck. Okay, dude, just because you married her doesn't mean you get to say what she wears. Not up to you. Is that a challenge, Mr. Gray? No, it's a statement of fact, Mrs. Gray. Stop it. I sigh and shake my head. Oh, Christian, my possessive, jealous, control freak Christian. Those are not good things. When he's finished, he slaps my behind. You'll do, wench. Stop it. His ever present, ever active Blackberry buzzes, and I frown, and he smirks. My eyes, my eyes only, Mrs. Gray. He raises his eyebrow in playful warning and slaps my backside once more. I sit back down on his lounger and sits back down on his lounger to take the call. My inner goddess purrs. Maybe tonight we could do some kind of floor show for his eyes only. She smirks knowingly, arching a brow, and I grin at the thought and drift back into my afternoon siesta. Okay, I'm about to try and pronounce Spanish really badly. Memsel un per. Oh no, it's French actually. Memzel. Okay, I think she spelled this wrong. Yeah, no, because I've seen Memzel, and it's not. That's not it. That's not right. Oh, it might. Okay, here. This could be a thing. I speak Quebec French. I speak Canadian French, not Parisian French, and this is probably Parisian French, and that's why the spelling is different. So, Mademoiselle, un Perrier pour moi, un Coca-Cola light pour ma femme, s'il vous plaît, et que, uh, okay, language barrier, I don't know the word. Et, et que, ugh, et QQ, it's literally just QQ, I don't know what it is. Chose a manager, laissez-moi voir à la carte. Half of that is not even actual French. Like, why are you ordering a Perrier and a Coke in French? Like, wherever the fuck you are, I guarantee you somebody speaks English. If you're at some fancy restaurant, somebody definitely speaks English. Christian speaking fluent French wakes me. My eyelashes flutter, and in the glare of the sun, I find Christian watching me while a liveried young woman walks away, her tray held aloft and her high blonde ponytail swinging provocatively. Ew. Thirsty? He asks. Yes, I mutter sleepily. I could watch you all day. Tired? I flush. I didn't get that much sleep last night. Me either. He grins, puts down his Blackberry, and stands. His shorts fall a little and hang in that way, so his swim trunks are visible beneath. She's got a thing for like seeing the top of hips or something. It's always because it's always that way, and I didn't know what that meant for years. I've lost my spot. Christian takes his shorts off, stepping out of his flip flop. Sorry, I'm trying to remember to hit me when I'm going to cough, but I don't always know when it's coming. I need a drink. Okay, I think I'm okay. Yeah, it's because I'm sniffing and all the crap is like getting into my throat. That's why I've been nauseous all day. Come for a swim with me. He holds out his hand while I look up at him, dazed. Swim? He says again, cocking his head to one side, an amused expression on his face. When I don't respond, he shakes his head slowly. I think you need a wake up call. Suddenly, he pounces and lifts me into his arms while I shriek, more from surprise than alarm. Christian, put me down, I squeal. He chuckles. Only in the sea, baby. Okay. Several sunbathers on the beach watch with that bemused, disinterested, so typical, I now realize of the French, as Christian carries me into the sea, laughing and wades in. Okay, so just insulting everyone in France. Okay. I clasp my arms around his neck. He wouldn't, I say breathlessly, trying to stifle my giggling. Can we also just point out that his immediate reaction to her not doing what he wanted her to do, and immediately so, was to just physically pick her up and throw her in the ocean anyway? That's going to be every scene in this book because they're married now, so he gets to just completely puppeteer her. Ugh. He grins. Oh, Anna, baby, have you learned nothing in the short time we've known each other? At least book acknowledges they've only known each other for like 6 weeks. He kisses me, and I seize my opportunity, running my fingers through his hair, grasping two handfuls and kissing him back while invading his mouth with my tongue. He inhales sharply and leans back, eyes smoky but wary. I know your game, he whispers, and slowly sinks into the cool, clear water, taking me with him as his lips find mine once more. Oh, they fuck in the ocean, don't they? I think I remember that. Ew, that's gonna be right now. The chill of the Mediterranean is soon forgotten as I wrap myself around my husband. I thought you wanted to swim, I murmur against his mouth. You're very distracting. Christian grazes his teeth along my lower lip, but I'm not sure I want eh, the good people of Monte Carlo to see my wife in the throes of passion. You have a boat to go fuck on. I run my teeth along his jaw, his sticky, his stubble. I put two words together. His stubble tickly. I don't think I've ever seen that word in print before. Weird. Against my tongue, not caring a dime for the good people of Monte Carlo. Do we have to say the good people of twice in like 2 lines? Like, no offense to Monte Carlo, but that's just bad. My brain's still partially in editing mode. I finished editing part 5 of my fanfic. It is done. Part 5 is officially greenlit to be shared. So, there's that. So, I was feeling pretty good about that today. I was a day later than I wanted to be, but I've been sick as a dog for a week. So, I cut myself exactly this much slack this one time. But I did get it out to the couple people that had been waiting. I really got to put a tab in my Discord and just throw those up. It'd just be easier. Anna, he groans. He wraps my ponytail around his wrist and tugs gently, tilting my head back, exposing my throat. Already we're doing the hair pulling. Already. Oh, my stomach didn't like that. Oh, not gonna puke. But my stomach really didn't like me reading that. Where was I? He trails kisses from my ear down to my neck. Shall I take you in the sea? He breathes. You just said you didn't want to do that. Yes, I whisper. Christian pulls away and gazes down at me, his eyes warm, wanting, and amused. Mrs. Gray, you're so insatiable and so brazen. What sort of monster have I created? Too easy. A monster fit for you. Would you have me any other way? I'll take you any way I can get you. You know that. It's true. It's true. He stalked her into submission. It's true. But not right now. Not with an audience. He jerks his head towards the shore. What? Sure enough, several sunbathers on the beach have abandoned their indifference and are now regarding us with interest. why in the hell would anybody care about these two on a beach? Seriously. Like, he's not freaking Leonardo DiCaprio here. Like, suddenly Christian grabs me around my waist and launches me into the air, letting me fall into the water and sink beneath the waves to the soft sand below. I surface coughing, sputtering, and giggling. I would not be happy if somebody did that to me. Christian, I scold, glaring at him. I thought we were going to make love in the sea and chalk up yet another first. Everything for her is a first. Everything after she met him is a first. Because she hasn't done anything. He bites his lower lip to stifle his amusement. I splash him and he splashes me right back. We have all night, he says, grinning like a fool. Laters, baby. Stop saying that. He dives beneath the sea and surfaces 3 feet away from me. Then, in one fluid, graceful crawl, swims away from the shore, away from me. Gah! Playful, tantalizing 50. Oh, I was really hoping she'd abandon the nickname. I shield my eyes from the sun as I watch him go. He's such a tease. What can I do to get him back? While I swim to the shore, I contemplate my options. At the lounges, our drinks have arrived, and I take a quick sip of Diet Coke. Christian is a faint speck in the distance. I would not be drinking a drink that was left unattended on an open beach. For a variety of reasons. I lie down on my front and, fumbling with the straps, take my bikini top off and toss it casually onto Christian's sun lounge. There. See how brazen I can be, Mr. Gray? Also, they're doing this, in this case, literally tit for tat thing because she's pissed that he didn't fuck her in the ocean, so now she's gonna, like, defy his wishes on not being topless in public. This is petty juvenile shit that you should not do in any relationship, but especially in a marriage. Like this keeping score back and forth thing. It's not cute. It's like this is why people get divorced. This is why people who are loved each other last week hate each other next week because of stupid shit like this. Uh, See how brazen I can be, Mr. Gray. Put this in your pipe and smoke it. Wow, I haven't heard that phrase in at least 10 years. Like, my grandfather used to say that, but I think he's the only one I ever heard say that. No, probably my mom a couple of times because she would have heard it growing up too. I shut my eyes and let the sun warm my skin, warm my bones, and I drift away under its heat, my thoughts turning to my wedding day. Yeah, why should we actually write the scene of the wedding to start with? You would think that would be a place to start. I think that's where the movie starts actually. But no, we'll just have her remembering the wedding after the fact. It's not like you want the audience to feel like they're there. You may kiss the bride, Reverend Walsh announces. Is anyone surprised they had a religious person officiate and not just like a judge? I beam at my husband. Finally, you're mine. There we go. There we go. There we go. I gotta highlight it. I let it go the first time. I'm not letting it go this time. Where is my highlighter? Oh, I still have my bonnet. I wonder if it'll fit over the headphones. Okay, puppy, did you eat my highlighter? He may have. Oh, nope, I got it. He whispers and pulls me into his arms and kisses me chastely on the lips. I am married. I am Mrs. Christian Grey. I also don't like that. Again, it's cute, but I don't like Mrs. and then the guy's name. I am giddy with joy. You look beautiful, Anna. He murmurs and smiles, his eyes glowing with love and something darker. We can't even just have a nice moment. We can't even just have a nice moment of the actual kiss and the vows. No, no, no. There has to be darker. Just, James just won't let us have nice things. Something hot. Why is it automatically dark if it's sex? Like, no. I don't agree with this. Is dark sex hot? Yes. But is there, like, light sex? Yes. You know what I mean. Don't ask me to do words right now. Don't let anyone take that dress off but me, understand? Oh yeah, this was the first example of him being a jackass, was making her stay in the dress. His smile heats 100 degrees and his fingertips trail down my cheek, igniting my blood. Holy crap, how does he do this? Even here with all these people staring at us. Yeah, he didn't care who saw it then. I nod mutely. Jeez, I hope no one can hear us. Yeah, everyone can hear you! Luckily, Reverend Walsh has discreetly stepped back. He can still hear you. I glance at the throng gathered in their wedding finery. My mom, Ray, Bob, and the Grays are all applauding. There's like 10 people at their wedding. Even Kate, my maid of honor, who looks stunning in pale pink as she stands beside Christian's best man, his brother Elliot. Who knew that even Elliot could scrub up so well? He's also been described as being incredibly handsome. All wear huge beaming smiles, except Grace, who weeps graciously into a dainty white handkerchief because we just had to make her the most stereotypical mom at a wedding ever. Ready to party, Mrs. Gray? Christian murmurs, giving me his shy smile. I melt. He looks divine in his simple black tux with silver waistcoat and tie. He's so dashing. Is that what Edward was wearing in the Twilight wedding? I don't remember because I don't care. But is that what Edward was wearing? Because if it is, I'm like so not surprised. Or is she just playing because it's gray? Ready as I'll ever be. I grin in a totally goofy smile on my face. Later at the wedding party is in full swing. Carrick and Grace have gone to town. They've set up a tent. They have the tent set up again. It's beautifully decorated in pale pink, silver, and ivory, with its sides open facing the bay. We've been blessed with fine weather, and the late afternoon sun shines over the water. There's a dance floor at one end of the tent and a lavish buffet at the other. Ray and my mother are dancing and laughing with each other. I feel bittersweet watching them together. I hope Christian and I last longer. So she at least has the concept of divorce. I don't know what I'd do if he left me. No. No, you didn't. No. No. Stop it. No. Because of course the only possibility would be that he gets bored with her and trades her in for a newer model. Which realistically should happen. Given like how their relationship started and what it was based on, that's exactly what should happen. Give it a year and he'll be looking for another sub. Though he'll probably like tell Anastasia it's just like part of an open marriage or it doesn't count as sex because it's only because he's 50 shades of fucked up and he needs that evil dark release of beating somebody and it can't be her, so let him do it to somebody else. Again, that is like this there's an episode of SVU. It's the season 1 finale. Uh season 1 episode 22. It's called Slaves. I swear E.L. James took heavy inspiration from it. And like if you watch it, you will know exactly which character I think Christian Grey is at least partially based on. Watching it now, because this came out way before the movies, before the books as well. But watching it now, every time I see that there's this one scene, every time I'm just entirely seeing Christian Grey. I can't unsee it now. Kind of fucks up the episode, but it also makes sense. Uh, Kate is beside me. looking so beautiful in her long silk gown. She glances at me and frowns. Hey, this is supposed to be the happiest day of your life, she scolds. It is, I whisper. Oh, Anna, what's wrong? Are you watching your mom and Ray? I nod sadly. They're happy. Happier apart. Hey, some people are like that. That's why the ending of Mrs. Doubtfire is so good. Because, by the way, for anyone here's our first movie trivia fact of the night. In the original writing of the story of Mrs. Doubtfire, they were supposed to get back together at the end. However, Robin Williams and can't remember her name, the actress who plays the mom, Sally Fields. How in the hell did I forget Sally Fields? I apologize. Robin Williams, Sally Fields, and the director had all recently been divorced. Sally Fields was in the middle of a very contentious divorce while they were filming it. And so they all said it defeated the purpose of the movie and it gave a bad message to tell kids that, your parents will break up and but then they'll get back together. They're like, "No, that's not the message. The message is sometimes parents get divorced and you have to adjust to it." And yeah, you have two homes now and you have two Thanksgivings and two Christmases. And it's weird at first and awkward and it's hard on the kids. Very hard. But sometimes grown-ups just can't live together anymore. That's Robin Williams has his, signature heartfelt speech that sometimes, your parents, they may not love each other that way anymore, but they will always love you. And so it's okay to have two homes. I even remember I went to Catholic school briefly when I was very young, and if somebody in the class like was a child of divorce, everybody knew. The whole school knew. It was such a stigma. But that's a Catholic school, so there's that. You're having doubts, Kate asks, alarmed. Kind of too late for that now? Not at all. It's just, I love him so much. I freeze, unable or unwilling to articulate my fears. Anna, it's obvious he adores you. I know you had an unconventional start to your relationship. He stalked her until she dated him. But I can see how happy you've been over the past month. Again, we've nuked the character of Kate. She's done the Caroline 180. She's gone from being the most real person, the only one to see through Christian's bullshit, to now she's totally on board with it and fine. Ugh. She grasps my hands, squeezing them. Besides, it's too late now, she adds with a grin. This is not true. They could get it annulled. I giggle, trust Kate to point out the obvious. She pulls me into a Catherine Kavanaugh special hug. Did we need every word of that to be capped? I don't think we did. Hello to whoever's just come in. Good to see you. Say hi in the chat. Anna, you'll be fine. And if he hurts one hair on your head, he'll have me to answer to. Been there, done that. Releasing me, she grins at whoever is behind me. Hey, baby. Christian puts his arm around me, surprising me, because he saw her talking to someone who had talked her into leaving him before. And he's not going to risk it, so he has to intervene. Christian puts his arms around me, surprising me, and kisses my temple. Kate, he acknowledges. He's still cool towards her, even after 6 weeks, yet they don't like each other. Hello again, Christian. I'm off to find your best man, who happens to be my best man, too, because we just had to make it more incestuous. With a smile to us both, she heads over to Elliot, who's drinking with her brother Ethan and our friend Jose, all three of whom could be completely cut out of the story and change absolutely nothing. Like, I'm pretty sure Ethan is not even in the movie, or he's one of the group that just happens to be around sometimes. I don't know. Time to go, Christian murmurs. Already? This is the first party I've been to where I don't mind being the center of attention. I turn in his arms to face him. Something's going off in my ear. Wait, I gotta adjust something. Why is Discord making noise at me? Shouldn't be doing that. And I'm realizing I forgot to do a thing, so I'm gonna do it now, really late. But oh well, better late than never, as they say. We'll see. And one other thing I wanted to do. There we go. Okay. Lost my spot. Lost my spot. Lost my spot. Lost my spot. Where is it? I lost my spot. I can type. I can't spell. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. It will stop making noise. Because I've told it to. Ever since the last update, it's been overriding my settings. Because it's set to not do notifications and not make sound, and yet it won't stop. They screwed something up. But they're usually pretty quick to fix these things. Time to go, Christian murmurs. Already? This is the first party I've been to where I don't mind being the center of attention. I turned in his arms to face him. You deserve to be. You look stunning, Anastasia. So do you. Of course, he's going to leave their own wedding reception early because he just can't wait to possess her. He smiles, his expression heating. This beautiful dress becomes you. This old thing? I blushed shyly and pulled a fine lace trim of the simple, fitted wedding dress designed for me by Kate's mother. Really? Did we know Kate's... We did not know that Kate's mom is a designer. I don't think Kate's parents have ever been mentioned. Also, who thought that in the Twilight wedding scene, the dress that Kristen Stewart is wearing in the dream version is such a better dress than the dress she's actually wearing at the wedding? I actually quite dislike the actual wedding dress she's wearing. I thought it was very badly designed, and it did not look good on her at all. It definitely looked like it was for a much older woman, and it was not a good design or material. It was way too shiny. Which kind of sucked, because one thing I like in movies is a good wedding dress, and that was not one of them. I love that the lace is just off the shoulder. Demure, yet alluring, I hope. I think they actually did make a dress that... I think the dress in the movie is like that. So I think they kept that. They probably had... Didn't they have some kind of contest to design the wedding dress? Or was that Twilight? One of them did some kind of wedding contest thing. And I think Vera Wang was involved. I don't remember. But yeah, one of them I remember had some kind of a wedding design contest. Something. He bends and kisses me. Let's go. I don't want to share you with all these people anymore. Because now I can just lock you in my dungeon forever. Because you belong to me. That's not a ring on your finger, that's a shackle. Can we leave our own wedding? Most couples leave before their reception ends. This is true. Because, like, at least half the time it's because they got a flight to catch or something. But yeah, the bride and groom do usually leave the reception before it is over. This is why also, if you're having a wedding and if you're doing it at a hotel, and definitely get a room upstairs so you can go bang and then come back to the party for some food. This is my recommend on how to do a wedding reception. Baby, it's our party and we can leave whenever we want. We've cut the cake, and right now I'd like to whisk you away and have you all to myself. And then some. I giggle. You have me for a lifetime. Oh, Mr. Gray. That just made my ear pop. I'm very glad to hear that, Mrs. Gray. Oh, so there you two are. Such lovebirds. They're like standing in the middle of the dining or the floor, dancing floor. Oh God, I haven't even had a sip of wine yet, and I can't even think. Oh, here you two are, such lovebirds. I groan inwardly. Grace's mother has found it. Now there's a grandmother. How many one there like there's at least 5 characters that have been mentioned that are only going to be in this one scene that we've never heard of before and we'll never hear of again. Christian, darling, one more dance with your grandma? Christian purses his lips. Of course, grandmother. And you, beautiful Anastasia, go make an old man happy. Dance with Dio. Dio, Mrs. Trevelyan? Grandpa Trevelyan. And I think you can call me Grandma. These people are not in the movie. Now you two seriously need to get working on my great grandkids. I won't last too much longer. She gives us a simpering smile. Christian blinks at her in horror. Come, grandmother, he says, hurriedly taking her hand and leading her to the dance floor. I won't, He glances back at me, practically pouting, and rolls his eyes. Later's baby. Yeah, of course he does, because he's a toddler. As I walk towards Grandpa Trevelyan, Jose accosts me. Okay, too easy. I won't ask you for another dance. I think I monopolized too much of your time on the dance floor as it is. We didn't see any of this because why would you make a point to tell? Why would you tell in a medium that is telling? I'm happy to see you happy, but I'm serious, Anna. I'll be here if you need me. Whoa! At her wedding, you jackass! I think champagne is going like oh no, get out of my wedding. Why is he there? Why? Why does he continue to exist in the series? I said the same thing about Jacob. Okay, I'm sorry. Past, arguably, he's like he is most of the movie in New Moon. Fine, but after that point, he has no reason to exist in the story. He should have just gone to the battle with Victoria and got killed. That would have been a better ending. And we all know what really became. This kid falls in love with CGI baby. And that's why Taylor Lautner has like never worked since. I feel bad for him. He got screwed by those movies so hard. But a lot of people did. A lot of people leave that one off the resume. No, not Michael Sheen. He's definitely proud of his performance. Crazy. I think he and probably Dakota Fanning had the most fun. I'll be here if you need me. Jose, thank you. You're a good friend. No, he's not. He is not a good friend. He was literally just the worst. He is not a good friend. Okay, just a rundown. Jose tried to sexually assault her while she was drunk, refused to take no for an answer, took photos of her without her consent, and then blew them up and put them in a gallery on public sale without her knowledge or consent. And then arranged to spend the night at her boyfriend's place somehow because he had to deliver the photos himself, and now says this at her wedding. He's not a good friend. I mean it. His dark eyes shine with sincerity. I know you do. Thank you, Jose. Now, if you'll please excuse me, I have a date with an old man. You know, how much better is the ending if he's the bad guy? It would at least justify his continued existence. And it would make sense because he's like, he's the guy who wanted her and didn't get her. Like, that makes more sense than who the actual bad guy is. I'm not going to say it for anyone who doesn't know, but yeah, Jose being the bad guy would have made way more sense. He furrows his brow in confusion. Christian's grandfather, I clarify. He grins. Good luck with that, Annie. Good luck with everything. Thanks, Jose. Okay, she said only Ray calls her Annie. He doesn't get to call her Annie, or did the author forget who was speaking? After my dance with Christian's ever charming grandfather, I stand by the French doors, watching the sun sink slowly over Seattle, casting bright orange and aquamarine shadows across the bay. Let's go, Christian urges. I have to change. I grasp his hand, meaning to pull him through the French windows and upstairs with me. Is she floating in midair? You literally said French doors and then said French windows. Both exist, but they are not the same thing. And like, I'm sorry, that is just terrible. That's just a lack of editing. That is lack of editing. He frowns, not understanding, and tugs gently on my hand, halting me. I thought you wanted to be the one to take the stress off, I explain. His eyes light up. Correct. He gives me a lascivious grin. But I'm not undressing you here. We wouldn't we wouldn't leave until I don't know. He waves his long-fingered hand, leaving the sentence unfinished but his meaning quite clear. That was so many unnecessary words. I flush and let go of his hand. And don't take your hair down either, he murmurs darkly. But no buts, Anastasia. You look beautiful, and I want to be the one to undress you. Oh, I frown. Pack your going away clothes, he orders. You'll need them. Taylor has your main suitcase. Why are you not packed? Like, I'm sorry, no. If it's my honeymoon, I'm packed and all my bags are lined up like 3 days before the wedding. No way would I be packing right now. Okay, what has he got planned? He hasn't told me where we're going. Then why are you going? I'm sorry, I'm not one of those people. I could never do that. I could never have a surprise destination honeymoon. It's so dumb. And also, how? Literally, how? If you have to fly there, then she has a ticket, and guess what? As soon as you go to the airport, she's gonna know where you're going. I mean, I know they'll be flying private, but you get what I'm saying. He hasn't told me where we're going. In fact, I don't think anyone knows where we're going. Neither Mia nor Kate has managed to inveigle interesting choice of word the information out of him. I turn to where my mother and Kate are hovering nearby. I'm not changing. What? My mother says. Christian doesn't want me to. I shrug as if this should explain everything. Her brows furrow briefly. Okay, I need to excuse myself for 2 seconds to use the ladies' room, but we are going to talk about that because I'm highlighting that. We're gonna talk about that because that needs to be talked to, and I'm gonna drink some wine. But I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Okay, that was longer than anticipated. Sorry. I'm not well. Where's the puppy? Oh, camera. Hi, I'm here. Puppy's upside down under his puppy bed. He's just got his head sticking out going, what? I heard my name, what? I'm a doggy, what? He's so happy. Yes, you're just in general a happy doggy, aren't you? Okay, I gotta break this down for a minute. We're highlighting the fuck out of this. Because she's talking to her mother and saying she is not going to change out of her wedding dress. Famously, for anyone who doesn't know, wedding dresses are fucking uncomfortable. Generally, any dress you're wearing to a wedding is uncomfortable. And depending on how much structure is under it, it can get painful after a while. That's why most brides, especially nowadays, they'll probably do the first dance in their wedding dress, to open the reception kind of, and then she will go change into something she can actually like dance properly and enjoy herself in and without overheating or having wires sticking her in the ribs. That's why a lot of people have two dresses. They have a wedding dress and then they have a reception dress, which I think is perfectly acceptable. But what we have here is her saying she's not going to change, and to her mother. And where it gets just full Stockholm syndrome has occurred is she just says, Christian doesn't want me to. I shrug as if this should explain everything. So she's this is the definitive moment when we know with absolute certainty that she no longer even has the concept of personal autonomy or of being able to make decisions for herself or do what she wants. Because to her, at this point, Christian doesn't want me to is the entire explanation for doing or not doing something. In this case, not doing. So her only reason to do or not do anything is by his command. And she just expects that other people will understand this because that's just how it is. He's my husband. He told me to not do a thing. I'm not doing the thing. This is a horrible message to send, especially to young women, that this is what marriage is, because it's not. But this is blatantly abusive, and now it is on public display in front of her mother. The mom who's not going to say anything, and the same mom who was all for her breaking up with Christian until being told that he's rich, and then immediately changed her tune and and literally prostituted her daughter and told her to go up to him in the hotel room and ride that D, honey, because he's got money. That was the only thing. Like, she pimped out her daughter. So I'm not expecting good advice here, but this is horrible. If you wanted to boil down the crimes of this book, that line really sums it up well. I am not good at highlighting. Okay. So we've had our first rant. I'm having some wine now. This has been sitting here the entire time untouched. I should clean this glass more often. I also have to remember to take the wine out of the fridge like the day before because it's so cold. I mean, it's been in the fridge for like 8 days, so yeah, it's really cold, but I thought taking it out a couple of hours ahead would be enough. It's not. No, it's also very cold in here. Her brow furrows briefly. Yeah, Mom, you should be recognizing the red flag here. Please. You didn't promise to obey, she reminds me tactfully. See, that was actually good advice. Hi, puppy, there's a puppy. You want to come up? Yeah, I'm gonna try to one hand the puppy. Hi. You're a puppy. Hi. What are we doing? Everyone say hi to the puppy. Who just decided he needs to come up, and okay. He's gonna make me use two hands. Oh, and he's hitting my mic. Puppy, you're hitting the mic. You're hitting the mic controls. Sorry. Did he mute me? Can you hear me? Am I on? Okay, didn't lose my spot. Oh, you're so warm. You were under your puppy bed, weren't you? Yes, you were being a puppy under my puppy bed, and it was really warm, and I like it. And that's why I go in my puppy bed. Oh, it's a baby. It's such a baby dog. It is such a baby dog. Yes, it is. Yes, he doesn't like to be held like this. No, no, no. You don't want to be held like this. I want to be cuddled. You don't want to be on camera. I'm shy. He's not. He's very outgoing. He got in trouble, though, today because he ran out in the hallway and started barking at one of the neighbors. And he came back in when he was told, but he also backtalked me by continuing to bark. You don't usually backtalk me. Christian would. But he was head doggy. He was allowed. You've never backtalked me before. But he was a little brat. He didn't like being told to stop barking, so he came in and then just went woof woof, like I'll bark if I want to, and then immediately ran to hide in his crate because that's where he gets put when he's in trouble, and sometimes he just punishes himself. Yes, you do. You run in there when you think you're in trouble, when you think you did something bad. Look at him. Look at all of him. No, 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 no. I'm gonna show you off. You show off the belly. Yes, the belly. Here, we'll use the tail to block the penis. Kind of. It's not working. But look at this. Okay, wait, bye-bye. Put you down. Wait, bye-bye. Look at my feet. Look at my feet. Hey, my good boy. You're giving yourself a hot spot chewing on your foot. Okay, stop chewing on your foot. Good baby. Ugh. Dog hair on my nose. Now I'm covered in more dog hair than I already was. I did try to tape it off, but it's not coming off. Kate tries to disguise her snort as a cough, and I narrow my eyes at her. Neither she nor my mother have any idea of the fight Christian and I had about that. I don't want to rehash that argument. Geez, can my 50 Shades sulk and have nightmares? The memory is sobering. Okay, I'm sorry. Did she just blame herself for him having a nightmare because they were having a fight over the language of the vows? Yes, she did. And ew. And seriously, his response to her wanting to not say the word obey was to literally sulk like a toddler. So thank you for confirming that he is as immature as I always said he was. Like, she literally has married a violent, abusive man-child. I know, Mom, but he likes this dress, and I want to please him. Her expression softens. Kate rolls her eyes and tactfully moves away to leave us alone. Okay, so there's still a little bit of real in Kate. I'm still team Kate. She hasn't been fully brainwashed yet. You look so lovely, darling. Carla gently tugs at a loose tendril of my hair and strokes my chin. I'm so proud of you, honey. You're going to make Christian a very happy man. She pulls me into a hug. Oh, Mom. I can't believe how grown up you look right now, beginning a new life. Just remember that men are from a different planet and you'll be fine. That's not terrible advice. That's like Jane's speech in the one where they go to the Mutters town. Is it called Janestown? I think that episode is just called Janestown because that is the point. But yeah, it's like when Jane makes the speech and Mal's like, "My crazy, or was that not completely terrible?" Yeah, that's what you can say. It's a not terrible speech, and coming from Jane, it was pretty good. Pretty good for him. That is definitely one of my favorite episodes of Firefly. Because Adam Baldwin the whole time, his face, and him in that stupid hat, which he took that hat. If you're gonna take anything, yeah. That in the scene where he tries to trade his super high powered gun for Saffron Burrows. Just the way he deadpans it's so funny. I love Mal's response of, my days of not taking you seriously are definitely coming to a middle. Okay, I'm gonna stop or I'll recite every fucking episode word for word. I probably could. Tears prick the backs of my eyes. Oh no. So far I've managed not to cry. And you've watched her and helped her grow up, Ray. Carla's voice is wistful. And I loved every single minute. You make one hell of a bride, Annie. Ray tucks the same loose strand of hair behind my ear. When did he arrive? Oh, Dad. I stifle a sob, but he hugs me in his brief, awkward way. You'll make one hell of a wife, too, he whispers, his voice hoarse. When he releases me, Christian is back at my side. Ray shakes his hand warmly. Look after my girl, Christian. I fully intend to, Ray. Carla. He nods at my stepdad and kisses my mom. The rest of the wedding guests have formed a long human arch for us to travel through, leading around to the front of the house. Another one of those things that's like, pass. Ready? Christian says. Yes. Taking my hand, he leads me under their outstretched arms, while our guests shout good luck and congratulations and shower us with rice. You shouldn't throw rice at a wedding. Waiting with smiles and hugs at the end of the arch are Grace and Carrick. They hug us and kiss us both in turn. Grace is emotional again as we bid them a hasty goodbye. Taylor is waiting to whisk us away in the Audi SUV. Always gotta have the car commercial in these books. As Christian holds the car door open for me, I turn and toss my bouquet of white and pink roses into the crowd of young women that's gathered. Mia triumphantly holds it aloft, grinning ear to ear. As I slide into the SUV, laughing at Mia's audacious catch, Christian bends to gather the hem of my dress. Once I'm safely in, he bids the waiting crowd farewell. Yeah, it's also impossible to get in or out of a car in a full length dress. You just hike it up to your waist. It's the only thing to do. Taylor holds the car door open for him. Congratulations, sir. Thank you, Taylor, Christian replies as he seats himself beside me. As Taylor pulls away, our wedding guests shower the vehicle with rice. Christian and I grasp hands and he kisses my knuckles. Why? What is with the knuckle kissing? Also, don't throw rice at the car. It can scratch the car. Seriously. So far, so good, Mrs. Gray. So far, so wonderful, Mr. Gray. Where are we going? SeaTac, he says simply and smiles a sphinx-like smile. What is he planning? I can't remember. Does he own an island too? Like, it would fit. Taylor does not head for the departure terminal as I expect, but through a security gate directly onto the tarmac. What? And then I see her. Christian's jet. Gray Enterprises holding ink in large blue lettering across her fuselage. Don't tell me you're misusing company property again. Oh, I hope so, Anastasia. Christian grins. It's his company, he can use the toys. Taylor halts the Audi at the foot of the steps leading up to the plane and steps out to open Christian's door. They have a brief discussion, then Christian opens my door. And rather than stepping back to give me room to climb out, he leans in and lifts me. That would actually be really hard to do. Whoa, what are you doing? I squeak. Carrying you over the threshold, he says. Oh, isn't that supposed to be at home? He carries me effortlessly up the steps, and Taylor follows with my small suitcase. He leaves it on the threshold of the plane before returning to the Audi. Inside the cabin, I recognize Steven, Christian's pilot, in his uniform. Have we ever met this guy before? I don't know. But I guess Taylor's not going with them. Welcome aboard, sir, Mrs. Gray. He grins. Christian puts me down and shakes Steven's hand. Beside Steven stands a dark-haired woman in her, early 30s? She's also in uniform. Congratulations to you both, Steven continues. Carrying somebody in a wedding dress upstairs, especially like those narrow airplane stairs, would be very hard to do. Congratulations to you both, Steven continues. Thank you, Steven. Anastasia, you know Steven. He's our captain today. And this is his first officer, Blake Blakely, Blithely, Blaley. I don't know. She's never going to be mentioned again. It doesn't matter. She blushes as Christian introduces her and blinks rapidly. I want to roll my eyes. Another female completely captivated by my too handsome for his own good husband. Oh my god, stop! Delighted to meet you, gushes Blaley. Bigley. I don't know. I'm just going to call her, like, whatever the hell. I smile kindly at her. After all, he is mine. Oh, so it's cute because she does it too, and you're not funny. All preparations complete? Christian asked them both as I glanced around the cabin. The interior is all pale maple and pale cream leather. It's lovely. How do you make cream pale? Another young woman in uniform stands at the other end of the cabin, a very pretty brunette. We have the all clear. Weather is good from here to Boston. Boston? Turbulence? Not before Boston. Then there's a weather front over Shannon that might give us a rough ride. Shannon? Ireland? Okay, thank you for telling me, book, because I didn't know where that was. I see. Well, I hope we sleep through it all, Christian says matter of factly. Sleep? So, it's a long trip. We'll get underway, sir, Stephen says. Although, how do you pack for the honeymoon if you don't know where you're going? We'll leave you in the capable care of Natalie, your flight attendant. Or Natalia. Christian glances in her direction and frowns, but turns to Stephen with a smile. Excellent, he says. Taking my hand, he leads me to one of the sumptuous leather seats. There must be about 12 of them in total. Sit, he says as he removes his jacket and undoes his fine silver brocade vest. We sit in two single seats facing each other, with a small, highly polished table between us. I'm picturing the jet from Criminal Minds. Welcome aboard, sir, ma'am, and congratulations. Natalia is at our side, offering us each a glass of pink champagne. Thank you, Christian says as he smiles politely at us and retreats to the galley. Here's to a happy married life, Anastasia. Christian raises his glass to mine and we clink. The champagne is delicious. Bollinger? I ask. The same. The first time I drank this, it was out of teacups. I grin. I remember that day well. Your graduation. Yeah, that's because it was last month. Where are we going? I'm unable to contain my curiosity any longer. Shannon, Christian says, his eyes alight with excitement. He looks like a small boy. We didn't need to be told this. Okay, I'm going to drop my other movie fact that I found. I found this out like a couple weeks ago. I was watching a panel of asexual people watching 50 Shades, and the person who did the video did their homework, and I realized I've only ever seen those movies like on a streaming thing. I don't own them. I never even looked at the DVDs or anything. And I guess there's some behind the scenes stuff on it that reveals that that opening scene in the first movie, the very beginning, where we see Anastasia going to interview him and she's standing on the street looking up at the tower and like intimidated and she looks very small. I always was going, what the fuck is with her wardrobe? Because she was wearing A, just a weird collection of stuff, and B, not what a grown woman wears to anything professional or businesslike or an interview. She didn't look like somebody in college. You know, she had this like for my head, she had like this American Girl doll quality. And apparently I was pretty much right because the wardrobe person and a couple other people on set are in a behind the scenes interview where they actually admit that in that opening, they deliberately dressed her as a child. They wanted her to look, in these are their words, like a confused, lost schoolgirl on the first day of school. So that is why she's wearing the Paddington coat and the ridiculous sweater and the ridiculous flower print dress that is like 15 years too young for her. That's why she looks so weird in that scene, is they did that. Why would you do that when these movies already were going, when they were making them, they were aware. They were aware that there was going to be massive backlash because it already had started from the books. They were aware that the nature of the relationship was heavily questionable and had received quite a lot of criticism already. That's why they changed a lot of things in the movie, because they had to make things less creepy at certain times. But then you go and deliberately infantilize this already naive as fuck woman. Ew. Just all of the ew. I also want to know if that idea came from E.L. James, because she's got an infantilism thing. It's way more prominent in the other series, in the Mister series, but it's here too. Because I've been glossing over them, but there are frequent references to her being referred to in childlike ways. It's not as direct as in the other ones, but it's in there. Like the way he's always grabbing her hand to take her somewhere. That's what you do with a child. You take them by the hand so that, they don't get distracted and wander off because they saw something shiny. But you do that with kids, not with adults. In Ireland. We're going to Ireland. To refuel, he adds, teasing. Then, I prompt. His grin broadens and he shakes his head. Christian? London, he says, gazing intently at me, trying to gauge my reaction. Why are you just making a pit stop in Ireland? Stay for a few days. I gasp. Holy cow. I thought maybe we'd be going to New York, or Aspen, or maybe the Caribbean. I can hardly believe it. My lifetime ambition to visit England. I'm lit up from within, incandescent with happiness. Well, she kind of should have known if she told him that she always wanted to go there, then of course that's where he's going to take her. Then Paris. What? Then the south of France. Whoa. I know you've always dreamed of going to Europe, he says softly. I want to make your dreams come true, Anastasia. Again, there's a version of this where she never returns from the honeymoon. You are my dreams come true, Christian. Back at you, Mrs. Gray, he whispers. Oh my. Excuse me. Oh my. There is no improving on that. I'm never getting any better. I grin and do as I'm told. Oh, I'm starting a counter. I'm starting a I do as I told counter. I'm starting one. It's at 5. As the plane taxis out onto the runway, we sip our champagne, grinning inanely at each other. I can't believe it. At 22 years old, I'm finally leaving the United States and going to Europe. To London, of all places. Once we're airborne, Natalia serves us yet more champagne and prepares our wedding feast. You didn't eat at your own reception? And what a feast it is. Smoked salmon followed by roast partridge with green bean salad and dauphinoise potatoes, all cooked and served by our ever-efficient Natalia. Dessert, Mr. Gray? She asks. He shakes his head and runs his finger across his bottom lip as he looks questioningly at me. His expression dark and unreadable. No, thank you, I murmur, unable to break eye contact with him. His lips curl up in a small secret smile, and Natalia retreats. Good, he murmurs. I rather planned on having you for dessert. I knew it. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming because it's the most cheesy line. I am not falling asleep. Oh, here? Come, he says, rising from the table and offering me his hand. Again, this is what you do with a kid. You go, come here. He leads me to the back of the cabin. There's a bathroom here. He points to a small door and then leads me down a short corridor to the door at the end. Geez, a bedroom? The cabin is cream and maple, and the double-sized bed is covered in gold and taupe cushions. It looks very comfortable. How big is this plane? Christian turns and pulls me into his arms, gazing down at me. I thought we'd spend our wedding night at 30,000 feet. It's something I've never done before. I refuse to believe he's never joined the Mile High Club. No fucking way do I believe that. No. No freaking way. But first, I have to get you out of this fabulous dress. His eyes glow with love and something darker, something I love, something that calls to my inner goddess. He takes my breath away. So now we're confirming. I should have looked up what it is, but I think there is a, a paraphilia where people are attracted to violence. I think she has that. I believe it's called bristophilia, but I'm not sure. But yeah, we're now saying the darkness, the dark part of him that scared her into running away multiple times. Nah, she's cool with it now. Now it's sexy. Turn around. His voice is low, authoritative, and sexy as hell. How can he infuse so much promise into those two words? Willingly I comply, and his hands move to my hair. Gently he pulls out each hairpin in turn, his expert fingers making short work of the task. My hair falls and sways over my shoulder, one lock at a time, covering my back and down my breasts. I try to stand still and not squirm, but I'm aching for his touch. After our long, tiring, but exciting day, I want him. All of him. I'd want a nap. You have such beautiful hair, Anna. His mouth his mouth is close to my ear, and I feel his breath, though his lips don't touch me. When my hair is free of pins, he runs his fingers through it, gently massaging my scalp. Oh my. I close my eyes and savor the sensation. His fingers travel on down. He tugs, tilting my head back to expose my throat. Hear mine, he breathes. His teeth tug my earlobe. I groan. Hush now, he admonishes. He sweeps my hair over my shoulders and trails a finger across the top of my. Across. This is already sounding weird. And we know she gets into like weird anatomy with sex scenes because she doesn't play it out. And trails a finger across the top of my back from shoulder to shoulder, following the lace edges of my dress. I shiver in anticipation. He plants a tender kiss on the back of on my back above the first button on my dress. So beautiful, he says, as he deftly undoes the first button. You have made me the happiest man alive today. With infinite slowness, he unfastens each button all the way down my back. I love you so much, trailing kisses from the nape of my neck to the edge of my shoulder. Between each kiss, he murmurs, there, all these words are separated by a period. All of them. I want you so much. I want to be inside you. You are mine. Can I throw up now? Each word is intoxicating. I close my eyes and tilt my head, giving him easier access to my neck, and I fall further under the spell that is Christian Grey, my husband. That's appropriate. Mine, he whispers once more. He peels my dress down my arms so that it pools at my feet in a cloud of ivory, silk, and lace. Turn around, he whispers, his voice suddenly hoarse. I do so, and he gasps. I'm dressed in a tight, blush pink satin corset with garter straps and matching lacy briefs and white silk stockings. Christian's eyes travel greedily down my body, but he says nothing. He just gazes at me, his eyes wide with want. I'm surprised the lingerie is not a little more elaborate. You like? I whisper, aware of the shy blush creeping across my cheeks. More than like, baby. You look sensational. Here. He holds out his hand, and taking it, I step out of my dress. Keep still, he murmurs, and without taking his darkening eyes off mine, he runs his middle finger over my breasts, following the outline of my corset. My breathing shallows, and he repeats the journey over my breasts once more, his tantalizing fingers sending tingles down my spine. He stops and twirls his index finger in the air, indicating he wants me to turn around. Mind, he whispers. Oh, wait, I skipped a line. For him, right now, I'd do anything. Yeah, there. Highlighter time. This is true. Stop, he says. I'm facing the bed, away from him. His arm encircles my waist, pulling me against him, and he nuzzles my neck. Gently, he cups my breasts, toying with them, while his thumbs circle over my nipples so that they strain against the tight fabric of my corset. Mine, he whispers. Yours, I breathe. Don't encourage him. Leaving my breasts bereft, he runs his hand down my stomach, over my belly and down to my thighs, his thumbs skimming my sex. I stifle a moan. His fingers skate down each garter, and with his usual dexterity, he simultaneously unhooks each one from my stockings. His hands travel around to my behind. Mine, he breathes. He's literally touching her sexy places and staking his ownership claim. He's literally saying, I own your breasts, I own your ass, and we know what's coming next. Mine, he breathes as his hands spread across my backside and the tips of his fingers brush my sex. Ah, hush. His hands travel down the backs of my thighs, and once more he unclips my garters. Leaning down, he pulls back the cover on the bed. Sit down. In his thrall, I do as I am told, and he kneels at my feet and gently tugs off each of my white bridal Jimmy Choos. He grasps the top of my left stocking and slowly peels it, running his thumb down my leg. He repeats the whole process with my other stocking. It's like unwrapping my Christmas presents. He smiles up at me through long dark lashes. This is not a good image. A present you've already had. He frowns in admonishment. Oh no, baby. This time it's really mine. As opposed to when? As opposed to when? Like before you considered yourself what? Renting her vagina? What? Also, remember, he is the only guy who's ever fucked her. She's never had sex with anybody else. So, always yours, dude. Always was. Christian, I've been yours since I said yes. You've been his since he decided he was going to have you. I scoot forward, cupping his beloved face in my hands. I'm yours. I will always be yours, husband of mine. Now I think you're wearing too many clothes. I bend to kiss him, and suddenly he leans up, kisses my lips, and grasps my head with his hands, his fingers threading into my hair. I'm too nauseous for this. Anna, he breathes. My Anna. His lips claim mine once more, and his tongue invasively persuasive. Can you be invasively persuasive? I don't think you can. I think this is not a thing. Close, I whisper, her breathing mingling as I push back his vest and he struggles out of it, releasing me for a moment. He pauses, gazing at me, eyes wide, eyes wanting. Let me, please. My voice is soft and cajoling. I want to undress my husband. My 50. Stop it. He sits back on his heels and leaning forward, I grasp his tie, his silver gray tie, my favorite tie. I slowly undo it and pull it free. He raises his chin to let me tackle the top button of his white shirt. Then once it's undone, I move on to his cuffs. He's wearing platinum cufflinks engraved with an entwined A and C, my wedding present to him. When I remove them, he takes the cufflinks from me and fists them in his hand. Then he kisses his fist and shoves them into his pants pocket. Why? Mr. Gray, so romantic. For you, Mrs. Gray, hearts and flowers, always. I take his hand and, glancing up through my lashes, kiss his plain platinum wedding ring. He groans and closes his. This is like a whole new fetish, kissing jewelry. Anna, he whispers, and my name is a prayer. Stop it. Reaching up to his second shirt button and mirroring him from earlier, I plant a soft kiss on his chest as I undo each of them and whisper between each kiss, "You make me so happy. I love you." Okay, that I get. Uh, where was I? Oh yeah, kissing jewelry. Um, you make me so happy. I love you. He groans, and in one swift move, he clasps me, around the waist and lifts me onto the bed, following me down on it. Excuse me. Now I'm gonna have hiccups. Damn it. His lips find mine, his hands curling around my head, holding me, stealing, stilling me as our tongues glory in each other. Abruptly, Christian kneels up, leaving me breathless and wanting more. You're so beautiful, wife. He runs his hands down my legs, then grasps my left foot. You have such lovely legs. I want to kiss every inch of them. Starting here. Oh, we're gonna have foot fetish time. Yep. He presses his lips against my big toe and then grazes the pad with his teeth. Ew. Everything south of my waistline convulses. His tongue slides up my instep and his teeth skim my heel and up to my ankle. He trails kisses up the inside of my calf, soft, wet kisses. I wriggle beneath him. Still, Mrs. Gray, he warns, and suddenly flips me onto my stomach and continues his leisurely journey with his mouth up the backs of my legs to my thighs, my behind, and then he stops and I groan. Oh, are they finally going to do like full on anal? Because there's definitely going to be a full like anal sex scene in this book. There has to be. It's possibly the only thing that has actually been built up and like has progressed at any point, because the last one ended with her letting him stick a finger in her butt, though it's questionable because there was also definitely a vibrating butt plug involved, though apparently book is saying he put it in her vagina, not her butt. I don't buy it because it's really ambiguous the way it's written. Please, I groan. I want you naked, he murmurs, and slowly unhooks my corset one hook at a time. When it's flat on the bed beneath me, he runs his tongue up the length of my spine. Again, one of those things that sounds sexy, but if you actually did it, that would probably feel really disturbing. Christian, please. What do you want, Mrs. Gray? His words are soft and close to my ear. He's almost laying on top of me. I can feel him hard against my behind. What did I say? What did I say? You. And I you. My love. My life. He whispers, and before I know it, he's flipped me onto my back. If he's like laying down on top of her, how is he flipping her like a pancake underneath him? He stands swiftly. See. No, he stands swiftly first, then he flips her over again. He's there. E.L. James, do you not? She did not think about the mechanics of what she was writing at all. And I can say now, I have written a couple of sex scenes now in the course of writing my fanfic. Um, and I literally play it out in my head to make sure that, like, anatomically and in terms of who is touching who, where, and when, and how, it actually would work. Like, I play it in my head as if I were filming that scene for a movie, and I make sure that it works. She did not do that with any of this. Or in the next one, she didn't learn from her mistake, because in the next one, there's a scene where Maxim has 3 arms. He whispers, and before I know it, he's flipped me onto my back. He stands swiftly and in one efficient move dispenses with his pants and boxer briefs so that he's gloriously naked and looming large and ready over me. Sounds so creepy. It just sounds like pure creep. The small cabin is eclipsed by his dazzling beauty. Ugh. And his wanton need of me. He leans down and peels off my panties, then gazes at me. Mine, he mouths. Please, I beg, and he grins. A salacious, wicked, tempting, all 50 grin. Blech. He crawls back into the bed and trails kisses up my right leg this time until he reaches the apex of my thighs. He pushes my legs wider apart. Ah, wife of mine. Ugh. He murmurs, and then his mouth is on me. I close my eyes and surrender to his oh so adroit tongue. You really couldn't have picked a better word? Also, he's totally eating her ass. Or, no, wait, he flipped her back on her. Okay, so yeah, he's just eating her out. My hands fist in his hair and my hips swing and sway. Slave to his rhythm! We got the word in. There was a better place for it, but it's there. Then buck off the small bed. He grabs my hips to still me, but it doesn't stop the delicious torture. I'm close. So close. They've been at it for like 2 minutes. This girl comes like instantly. Again, E.L. James does not know how women work at all. When it comes to female orgasms or female enjoyment during sex, no. Somehow she is way off the mark. Again, married person with kids. Christian, I moan. Not yet, he breathes. And he moves up my body, his tongue dipping into my navel. Again, one of those things that would probably feel really disgusting. No. Damn, I sense his smile against my belly as his journey continues north. See, and also he's edging her again, which is not fair and not something she agreed to. But why is, like, girl, you want to come, just come. Like, you don't need his permission. So impatient, Mrs. Gray, who we have until we touch down on the Emerald Isle. Reverently, he kisses my breast and tugs my left nipple between his lips. Gazing up at me, his eyes are dark like a tropical storm, and he teases me. Oh my, I'd forgotten. Europe. He told you like 2 minutes ago. Husband, I want you, please. He looms up over me, his body covering mine, resting his weight on his elbows. He runs his nose down mine, and I run my hands down his strong, supple back to his fine, fine backside. Couldn't have just said it once. Mrs. Gray, wife, we aim to please. His lips brush. His lips brush. I love you. I, I, it's very bad writing. I love you too. Eyes open. I want to see you. Christian, I cry as he sinks slowly into me. Anna, oh Anna, he breathes and he starts to move. What the hell do you think you're doing? We're out of the sex scene now. We're back to the beach. What the hell do you think you're doing? Christian shouts, waking me from my very pleasant dream. So she was dreaming that. No, she wasn't. She was thinking about it. Make up your mind. Waking me from my very pleasant dream, so we don't even know if that is what really happened on the honeymoon. That was just a dream she was having of the honeymoon. Usually dreams are not accurate. What have I done? Oh, he's standing, very pleasant. He's standing all wet and beautiful at the end of my sun lounge and glaring down at me. What have I done? Oh no, I'm laying on my back. Crap, crap, crap. And he's mad. Shit. He's really mad. This end of chapter. So that's what we get out of the honeymoon is, and this is the introduction. If I didn't know that she's not at all because I've seen interviews, I would say that this is E.L. James being self-aware that he is terrible and making a point out of it by having the first chapter, the honeymoon chapter, end with him acting like a dick. But we know that she has no such self-awareness, and at this point, when this came out, was still 100% defending her creation and saying that he was not a monster, he's not a rapist, he's not violent, he's not abusive. She genuinely, like, you can see it on her face. She gets mad when people say these books are a story of abuse. I'm sorry, Yale. I'm genuinely sorry. If you genuinely did not intend it that way, and that's probably true, she really didn't intend it that way. That's what's scary, though. In her mind, all of this is pure romance. This is a fairy tale classic for the ages. This is all fine and love and respect and romance and lust, and this is what you should aspire to, little girls. That's why these are so dangerous. And none more so than this. I really didn't think they could get worse or more, like, bad for society. This does. This entire chapter does. I really wish Mark was here. Or anyone I know that's married. Like, I really want. There were times in the second, the misses as well, I wanted a married person for their point of view, because I'm not a married person. I never have been. But laying out that marriage involves the two of you having those tit for tat, back and forth revenge bullshit, and, you know, wearing an uncomfortable dress for several hours more than you should because he told you to, and just that being her only reason for anything now. I have lipstick on my hand. That's lipstick, not blood. And just the way she has just fully given up any self-control or autonomy at all. Like, she's not even had a thought. I'm pretty sure in the entire chapter, she didn't have one personal thought or intentional thought. Not intentional. I don't mean intentional thought. I mean a thought of intent. Like, I want something. She didn't have an I want thought, except for I want sex, but I'm not counting that. I mean, like, her saying, I want a bagel, and going to get a bagel. But she would never do that now. She would ask Christian if she's allowed to have a bagel. It's always the worst thing when you have chapped lips and you just have one little spot. It sticks up and you can feel it, and it's annoying. This is why I used to peel all the skin off my lips till they bled, and then I'd get in trouble. My cousin would tell on me too. It's one of the few things she actually would tell on me. She usually wouldn't. Usually we'd only tell you. We kind of had the rule that we'd only tell on each other if we thought the other one was doing something where you were going to get hurt. So I kind of guessed the bleeding lips was enough for her to go like, "Yep, that counts as hurt. I'm getting grandma. I'm telling." But yeah, I used to get told just all the time, because I would do it like every day. I was always picking at my lips, always, and yeah, I would bleed a lot. It was many years in therapy before I realized why I did that as a child. I grew out of it, but I still do it from time to time. I do it now, not as much, but I do catch myself. Okay, I think I can push through. I've literally had like 3 sips of wine. I'm barely drinking tonight because I don't feel well, and my body is not liking it. Like, my legs have been cramping for hours. But this chapter's pretty short, so we'll press on. Second shout out of the evening. If anyone would like to tip, the Stream Elements link should be at the top of the chat. For $10, you can draw a duck from our bag of ducks, and you get to name it. And I will put it on the duck stage that I'm realizing I forgot to set up. And I'm sorry. It's behind me somewhere, and I need to repair it because I kind of broke it. But yes, for $10, I will draw a duck, and you get to name it whatever it is. It's a random drawing of a duck. You don't get to pick. I don't even know what all of them are, so it's a random draw of a duck. For $25, I will put on under some stuff. I will put on these handcuffs for the entire rest of the chapter, and that's all I'm gonna say today because I don't want to do the other one. The other one is for $50. I will chug a glass of wine, but I am not going to do that tonight because I would definitely come back up, and I don't need to puke on a live stream again. So ducks and handcuffs are on offer, and it would very much help me out. This is a very tight month. I had a couple of bills I did not expect, which is not good when you're on a budget. Chapter 2. I'm suddenly very awake, my erotic dream forgotten. So we don't even actually know how their honeymoon like night was because she was just dreaming that. So it could be like anything. I'm so tempted to write their honeymoon night as I envision it, but it would be so evil. I gave myself the day off from writing anything else after I finished editing. Tomorrow I will get started on part 6, and I'm doing like an interlude part as well. I'll be writing both at the same time. I need to look at my notes. I've restructured so many times and moved so much stuff. I was on my front. I must have turned over in my sleep. I whisper weakly in my defense. Stop defending yourself. You're clearly on a beach where being topless is allowed. So who gives a flying? It's your body. You want to show it off? That's up to you, not him. I'm not saying he doesn't have the right to not like it, but it is her choice. His eyes blaze with fury. See, that's what he's not allowed to do. He's allowed to disapprove. You're not allowed to turn into a rage machine because she disobeyed you. He reaches down, scoops up my bikini top from his sun lounge, and tosses it at me. Pig. Put this on, he hisses. Christian, no one is looking. Trust me, they're looking. I'm sure Taylor and the security crew are enjoying the show, he snarls. Okay, so I guess Taylor did come with them? So just confirming that her honeymoon like dream was a dream, because in her version that now is confirmed as a dream, Taylor did not go with them. Now you can say like maybe Taylor went to park the car and him and the crew like took a different flight so they could have privacy so he could fuck her on the plane. But there's a crew on the plane, so like one more person, having Taylor there wouldn't have made any difference. So yeah, that's literally a dream. That is not how their honeymoon went. Why would you do that? That's just some very bad creative choices right there. Holy shit. Why do I keep forgetting about them? Probably if you're forgetting that you have security around you, they're either really good or really bad. I grasp my breasts in panic, hiding them. Ever since Charlie Tango's sabotage demise, we're constantly shadowed by damned security. Get used to it. And this is a conversation that should have been had before they got married, because given his status and his wealth and now her wealth and status, and the fact that there is a history with deranged stalkers with guns, and yes, somebody tried to kill him, they're always going to have security. Like, who remembers the show Undercover Boss? There was the guy who owned the diamond resorts, the hotels. He had private security because he was kind of paranoid, honestly. But he was a very wealthy guy. He traveled quite a lot, and he had a private bodyguard, which a lot of people commented on as like being ridiculous. And I'm like, no, it isn't. That is not ridiculous. When you have the kind of money this guy has, people will come for you. And that's not me being paranoid. That's just a fact of life. Also, it is a good idea to have security when you're traveling in a foreign country, if you can afford it or if it's appropriate. Like, I'm not saying like when you go to Disneyland Paris or something, but fact is, people are at their most vulnerable when they're traveling. Insert the movie Taken here. Yes, Christian snarls, and some sleazy fucking paparazzi could get a shot of you too. Do you want to be all over the cover of Star magazine? Naked this time? Shit, the paparazzi. Fuck. As I hurriedly scramble into my top, all thumbs, the color drains from my face. I shudder. The unpleasant memory of being besieged by the paparazzi outside the Seattle Independent Publishing after our engagement was leaked comes unwelcome to mind. All part of the Christian Grey package. Okay, so yeah, again, we have the same thing of like reporters. I'm not saying reporters would not have covered the story because he was a well-known, very like publicly eligible bachelor, he's a local celebrity in a way. So yeah, a couple papers probably would have mentioned the engagement, and tabloids love stupid, sleazy, sensationalized crap like that. But a pack of reporters outside her office, no, this is not happening. You know, she'd get like some phone calls and like, you know, maybe asked on like a morning talk show or something. But there was no explaining why the press were constantly hounding Maxim in the other book either. That also made no sense. And I'm looking on the wrong page. La Dichon. Christian snaps at the passing waitress. We're going, he says to me. Now? Yes, now. By the way, him shouting La Dichon is supposed to be like, bring me the check. It's the wrong word. She Googled the wrong word. Now? Yes, now. Oh shit. He's not to be argued with. When do you argue? You tried to argue once, it didn't work, and you've never done it again. He pulls on his shorts, even though his trunks are dripping wet, and his gray t shirt. The waitress is back in a moment with his credit card and the check. Reluctantly, I wriggle into my turquoise sundress and step into my flip flops. Once the waitress has left, Christian snatches up his book, his Blackberry, and masks his fury behind mirrored aviator sunglasses. Now I'm picturing Joe Biden. I have to get this image out of my head. He's bristling with tension and anger. My heart sinks. Every other woman on the beach is topless. It's not that big of a crime. In fact, I look odd with my top on. I sigh inwardly, my spirit sinking. I thought Christian would see the funny side. Sort of. Maybe if I'd stayed on my front. But his sense of humor has evaporated. Okay, so much to talk about there. One, what you were doing was not intended to be funny. You never meant it to be funny. You were mad at him for doing the thing or for not fucking you in the ocean. That's what it was. You were mad he didn't fuck you when you wanted him to, and so you did something you knew he wouldn't like to get back at him. It was a petty, stupid, juvenile revenge thing. It was not meant to be funny. You knew he wouldn't think it was funny. Now, granted, she didn't mean to flip over and like be on display, but also, girl, if you want to, then do. Oh. Uh, the list of things I'm never going to say again is getting longer. I already broke that rule. I was mad at myself, too. Please don't be mad at me, I whisper, taking his book and Blackberry from him and placing them in my backpack. Too late for that, he says quietly. Too quietly. Come. Taking my hand, he signals up to Taylor and his two sidekicks. The French security officers, Philippe and Gaston. Literally just stealing names from Disney! Because they're French. What the? They can't be named Jack and Bill? Oh, dear God. Weirdly, they are identical twins. They've been patiently watching us and everyone else on the beach from the veranda. Why do I keep forgetting about them? Because you're not used to them being around. How? Taylor is stone-faced behind his dark glasses. Shit, he's mad at me too. I'm still not used to seeing him so casually dressed in shorts and a black polo tee. Okay, Taylor, you have no right to be mad at her. Now, maybe Taylor's mad at her because he knows that Christian is going to be mad at him for somehow not preventing her tits being on display. But that just goes to prove Christian's a terrible, horrible person. Christian leads me into the hotel, through the lobby, and out onto the street. He remains silent, brooding and bad-tempered, and it's all my fault. No, it's not. No, it is not. He is being an immature, psycho dickhead right now. Like, seriously, this is the scene that you put the horror music on and it makes perfect sense. Because, like, seriously, if we were not being told that this is a romance and they're married and it's all supposed to be lovey, this is incredibly creepy and disturbing. And it's all my fault. Taylor and his team shadow us. Where are we going? I asked tentatively, gazing up at him. Back to the boat. He doesn't look at me. I have no idea of the time. I think it must be about 5 or 6 in the afternoon. When we reach the marina, Christian leads me onto the dock where a motorboat and jet ski belonging to the fair lady are moored. Christian unties the jet ski and I hand my backpack to Taylor. I glance nervously up at him, but like Christian, his expression gives nothing away. I flush thinking about what he's seen on the beach. He's probably seen Christian naked too. Thumbs up in the chat if you think Taylor has seen Christian naked. Here you go, Mrs. Gray. Taylor passes me a life vest from the motorboat and I dutifully put it on. Why am I the only one who has to wear a life jacket? Because you're being infantilized and the author's a horrible person. Christian and Taylor exchange some kind of look. Jeez, is he angry with Taylor too? Yes, that was my point. He's a terrible, terrible person. Christian then checks the strap of my life jacket, cinching the middle one tightly. She can't even be allowed to put on a life jacket herself. He'll do, he mutters sullenly, still not turning to look at me. Shit. See, he's just throwing a fit. He's a whiny little baby and he's throwing a fit. He climbs gracefully onto the jet ski and holds out his hand for me to join him. Grasping it tightly, I manage to throw my leg over the seat behind him without falling into the water. Why would you fall down doing that? While Taylor and the twins clamber into the motorboat, Christian kicks the jet ski away from the dock and it floats gently into the marina. Hold on, he orders, and I put my arms around him. This is my favorite part of traveling by jet ski. I hug him closely, my nose nuzzling into his back, marveling that there was a time when he would not have tolerated me touching him in this way. He smells good, of Christian and the sea. Forgive me, Christian, please. She didn't say that out loud, just in her head, which is all the more, like, disgusting. He stiffens. Steady, he says, his tone softer. I kiss his back and rest my cheek against him, looking back towards the dock where a few holiday makers have gathered to watch the show. Why are people watching them? Nobody would be watching this. Christian turns the key and the motor roars to life. With one of the twist of the accelerator, the jet ski bucks forward and speeds across the cool, dark water. No, through the marina and out into the center of the harbor towards the Fair Lady. You're not allowed to jet ski at night. So if she's saying it's dark out, they should not be on the jet ski. I hold him tighter. I love this. It's so exciting. Every muscle in Christian's lean frame is evident as I cling to him. Taylor pulls alongside in the motorboat. Christian glances at them and then accelerates again, and we shoot forward, whipping over the top of the water like an expertly tossed pebble. That sounds painful. And also, if you're bouncing like that on a jet ski, it's incredibly dangerous. You are going too fast, slow down. Taylor shakes his head in resigned exasperation and heads straight to the yacht, while Christian shoots past the fair lady and heads out towards the open water. Because he's going to drown her. The sea spray is splashing us, the warm wind buffering my face and flaying my ponytail crazily around me. This is so much fun. Maybe the thrill of the ride will dispel Christian's bad mood. I can't see his face, but I know he's enjoying himself. Carefree, acting his age for a change. He steers in a huge semicircle, and I study the shoreline. The boats in the marina, the mosaic of yellow, white, and sand-colored offices and apartments, and the craggy mountains behind. It looks so disorganized. Not the regimented blocks that I'm used to, but also has a picturesque, but also so picturesque. Christian glances over his shoulder at me, and there's the ghost of a smile playing on his lips. Again, he shouts over the noise of the engine. I nod enthusiastically, and his answering grin is dazzling. He opens the throttle and speeds around the fair lady and on out to the sea once more. And I think I'm forgiven. Is he yo-yoing her? I think he's yo-yoing her. And what I mean by that is that he's displayed a great deal of anger at her, but now he's trying to do something fun and nice for a minute and like get her into a good mood, and then I think he's going to pull the rug out from under her once they're on the boat. He's suddenly the mask will fall away and the fury will return, and she'll be like, "Oh no, he's still really mad and now I'm trapped on the boat with him and we're alone because he ditched the security." So I think that's where this is going. "You've caught the sun," Christian says mildly as he undoes my life vest. I anxiously try to assess his mood. We're on we're on deck aboard the yacht, and one of the stewards is standing quietly nearby waiting for my life vest. Christian passes it to him. I'm surprised they had a staff on the boat, though yachts are huge, so usually you have to have a staff. "Will that be all, sir?" the young man asks. I love his French accent. Christian glances at me, taking off his shades, and slips them into the collar of his t-shirt, letting them hang. "Would you like a drink?" he asks me. "Do I need one?" He cocks his head to one side. "Why would you say that?" His voice is soft. "You know why." He frowns as if weighing something in his mind. Oh, what is he thinking? "Two gin and tonics, please, and some nuts and olives," he says to the steward, who nods and quickly vanishes. "You think I'm going to punish you?" Christian's voice is silky. "Yes! That is exactly what she thinks. It's exactly what you wanted her to think, and exactly what the audience is thinking." "Do you want to?" "Yes." "How?" "I'll think of something. Maybe when you've had your drink." And it's a sensual threat. I swallow, and my inner goddess squints from her sun lounge where she's trying to catch rays with a silver reflector fanned out at her neck. So, you see, this is so fucked up. I can't even. Christian frowns once more. "You want to be?" "How does he know?" "Depends," I mutter, flushing. "On what?" He hides his smile. So now she's actively asking him to punish her because she feels like she was a bad girl. Ew. If you want if you want to hurt me, if you want to hurt me or not. So she's saying depends on if you want to hurt me. If you want to like sexy punish me, that's okay, but if you actually want to cause me pain, no. His mouth presses into a hard line, humor forgotten. He leans forward and kisses my forehead. "Anastasia, you're my wife, not a sub. I don't ever want to hurt you." Okay, but the problem is they have different definitions of what hurt is. And like we're really gonna pretend that all his proclivities, all his sexual deviancies, all his like literal sexual desires, the only ones he's ever had, we're just gonna pretend that he can just turn that off because she's so perfect that he can't treat her as a sub. He has to treat her as something more than that. This is not how people work at all. Oh my god, I'm having serious chills. Oh yeah, my head's so hot. Uh, I don't ever want to hurt you. You should know that by now. Okay, dude, you've spent the last 2 books telling her in detail how you wanted to hurt her and why. Just just don't take your clothes off in public. I don't want you naked all over the tabloids. You don't want that, and I'm sure your mom and Ray don't want that either. Guilt trip much. Oh, Ray. Holy shit. He'd have a coronary. What was I thinking? I mentally castigate myself. See, this is the insidiousness of Christian Grey. He's getting her to mentally punish herself and start thinking like he thinks. This is taking brainwashing to like a whole other level. The steward appears with our drinks and snacks and places them on the teak table. Sit, Christian commands. Okay. Again, anytime it's your significant other, if you're thinking of something they said as a command, like with rare exception, you need to have a conversation about your relationship. I do as he says and settle into the director's chair. That takes us to 8 I do as I am told statements. Christian takes a seat beside me and passes me a gin and tonic. Cheers, Mrs. Grey. Cheers, Mr. Grey. I take a welcome sip. It's thirst quenching, cold, and delicious. Excuse me, hiccups, damn it. Ow! That one hurt. Ow. It's very frustrating. I don't know if he's still mad at me. I deploy my patented distraction technique. She's gonna get on her knees. Who owns this boat? I ask. A British knight, Sir something or other. His great grandfather started a grocery store. His daughter married one of the crown princes of Europe. Oh? Super rich? Christian looks suddenly wary. Yes. Like you? I murmur. Yes. Oh. And like you, Christian whispers and pops an olive in his mouth. I blink rapidly. A vision of him in his tux and silver waistcoat comes to mind, his eyes burning with sincerity as he gazes down at me during our wedding ceremony. All that is mine is now yours, he says, his voice ringing out clearly, reciting his vows from memory. All mine. It's odd, going from nothing to, I wave my hand to indicate our opulent surroundings, to everything. You'll get used to it. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Taylor appears on deck. Sir, you have a call. Christian frowns but takes the pro-offered blackberry. Gray, he snaps, and rises from his seat to stand at the bow of the yacht. Oh. I gaze out at the sea, tuning out his conversation with Ross. I think. His number 2. I am rich. Stinking rich. I've done nothing to earn this money. I just married a rich man. I shudder as my mind drifts back to our conversation about prenups. It was the Sunday after his birthday, and we were seated at the kitchen table enjoying a leisurely breakfast. All of us. Elliot, Kate, Grace, and I were debating the merits of bacon versus sausage, while Carrick and Christian read the Sunday paper. See, again, why are we being told all of this via flashbacks? Like, why would you not just write these scenes? Like, write the actual wedding, the actual honeymoon, them actually having the argument about the vows. Them actually having that argument could have been a very good scene. Because it puts his issues like front and fucking center and makes him address his shit. But I'm guessing Neil James couldn't figure out how to write it because it would be complicated. I am not praising, I am not praising, I am not praising. Look at this, squeals Mia as she sets up her netbook on the kitchen table in front of us. Was there ever a laptop called a netbook? Like, it sounds like there would have been, but I don't remember it. There's a gossipy item in the Seattle News website about you being engaged, Christian. Already, Grace says in surprise. Then her mouth purses and an obviously unpleasant thought crosses her mind. Christian frowns. Mia reads the column out loud. Word has reached us here at the news that Seattle's most eligible bachelor, the Christian Grey, has finally been snapped up and wedding bells are in the air. But who's the lucky, lucky lady? The news is on the hunt. Bet she's reading one hell of a prenup. I don't think this is how media would talk. I mean, I get they're making up a gossipy tabloid here, but Mia giggles, then stops abruptly as Christian glares at her. Silence descends and the atmosphere in the gray kitchen plunges below zero. Oh no, a prenup. The thought has never crossed my mind. I swallow, feeling all the blood drain from my face. Please, ground, swallow me up now. Christian shifts uncomfortably in his chair as I glance apprehensively at him. No, he mouths at me. Christian, Carrick says gently. Yeah, I was going to say, the parents are going to insist on some kind of a prenup because he's not just rich in his own right. He comes from a very wealthy family as well. So I guarantee you they are going to insist on a prenup to limit some things. I'm not discussing this again, he snaps at Carrick, who glances at me nervously and opens his mouth to say something. No prenup, Christian almost shouts at him, and broodingly goes back to reading his paper, ignoring everyone else at the table. So that is literally him in front of his entire family just acting like a bully and a fucking brat. And apparently his family's very, very used to this because they put up with his shit. They alternatively look at me and then him, then anywhere but at the two of us. Christian, I murmur, I'll sign anything you and Mr. Gray want. Geez, it wouldn't be the first time he's made me sign something. I point out she never actually signed the fucking contract. She's talking about the NDA that he told her, like, tear it up. I don't care. And you're publicly engaged, so it's kind of void now. They look alternately at him and then me and then anywhere at the two of us. Christian, I remember I'll sign anything and blah, blah, blah. Christian looks up at me and glares at me. No, he snaps. I blanch once more. It's to protect you. Christian, Anna, I think you should discuss this in private, Grace admonishes us. She glares at Carrick and Mia. Oh dear, looks like they're in trouble too. Anna, this is not about you, Carrick murmurs reassuringly. And please call me Carrick. Christian narrows his cold eyes at his father and my heart sinks. Hell, he's really mad. Everyone erupts into animated conversation and Mia and Kate leap up to clear the table. I definitely prefer sausage, exclaims Elliot. I stare down at my knotted fingers. Crap. I hope Mr. and Mrs. Gray don't think I'm some kind of gold digger. Christian reaches over and grasps both my hands gently in one of his. Stop it. How does he know what I'm thinking? Is he a secret military technology stolen and planted in your brain that lets him hear your thoughts? If it was true, you would so buy it from him. Or that Archangel thing from Black Mirror. Ignore my dad, Christian says so only I can hear him. He's really pissed about Elena. That stuff is all aimed at me. I wish my mom had kept her mouth shut. What? What? How? Why? What? How? How is this about Elena? I really thought she wasn't going to be mentioned in this book because it's over. Like, the secret came out, the mom slapped her, it's done. I know Christian is still smarting from his talk with Carrick about Elena last night. Oh, so this is the next. Okay, if this is the next day, yeah, I get it. But he has a point, Christian. You're very wealthy, and I'm bringing nothing to our marriage but student loans. Christian gazes at me, his eyes bleak. Anastasia, if you leave me, you might as well take everything. You left me once before. I know how that feels. Holy fuck. That was different, I whisper, moved by his intensity. But you might want to leave me. The thought makes me sick. He snorts and shakes his head with mock disgust. Oh, she was saying to him, okay, it wasn't clear who was speaking, so she's saying, like, hey, you might want to leave me too. That's why you have an exit strategy. Christian, you know I might do something exceptionally stupid. And you. I glance down at my knotted hands, pain lancing through me. And I'm unable to finish my sentence, losing Christian. Fuck. Oh, God. This made me think of that scene with Khan and Space Seed where he forces MacGyver's on her knees by crushing her hands. Only she's doing it to herself. Stop. Stop now. The subject is closed, Anna. We're not discussing it anymore. No prenup. Not now, not ever. He gives me a pointed, give it up now look, which silences me. Then he turns to Grace. Mom, he says, can we have the wedding here? Oh my god. Ugh. I want a blanket so badly. And he's not mentioned it again. In fact, at every opportunity, he tried to reassure me about his wealth, that it's mine, too. I shudder as I recall the crazy shopping fest Christian demanded I go on with Caroline Acton, the personal shopper from Neiman Marcus, in preparation for this honeymoon. My bikini alone cost $540. I mean, it's nice, but really, that's a ridiculous amount of money for 4 triangular scraps of material. This is true. You'll get used to it. Christian interrupts my reverie as he resumes his place at the table. Used to it? The money, he says, rolling his eyes. Oh, 50, maybe in time. I push the small dish of salted almonds and cashews towards him. You're nuts, sir, I say with as straight a face as I can manage, trying to bring some humor to our conversation after my dark thoughts and my bikini top faux pas. He smirks. I'm nuts about you. He takes an almond and his eyes sparkle with wicked humor as he enjoys my little joke. He licks his lips. Drink up. We're going to bed. What? Drink, he mouths at me, his eyes darkening. Do what you're told, young lady. Ugh, my leg needs to stop fucking cramping. It's driving me nuts. Oh my, the look he gives me could be solely responsible for global warming. Ew. I pick up my gin and drain the glass, not taking my eyes off him. His mouth drops open and I glimpse the tip of his tongue between his teeth. He smiles luridly at me. In one fluid move, he stands and bends over me, resting his hands on the arms of my chair. I'm going to make an example of you. Come, don't pee, he whispers in my ear. Are we doing golden showers now? And apparently, yes, with the yo-yoing. I gasp. Don't pee. How rude. My subconscious looks up from her book, The Complete Works of Charles Dickens, Volume 1, with alarm. It's not what you think, Christian smirks, holding his hand out to me. Trust me. He looks so sexy and genial. How can I resist? By saying no, I'm going to the bathroom. Or just do it. Okay. I place my hand in his because, quite simply, I trust him with my life. What has he got planned? My heart sinks, pounding in anticipation. He leads me across the deck and through the doors into the plush, beautifully appointed main salon, along the narrow corridor, through the dining room, and down the stairs to the master cabin. The cabin has been cleaned since this morning and the bed made. It's a lovely room, with 2 portholes on both on the starboard and port sides. It's elegantly decorated in dark walnut furniture with cream walls and soft furnishings in red and gold. Christian releases my hand and pulls his t-shirt over his head and tosses it onto a chair. Ugh, you're gonna get more sex scene, aren't we? He steps out of his flip-flops and removes his shorts and trunks in one graceful move. Oh my, I will never tire at looking will I ever tire at looking at him naked. He's utterly gorgeous and all mine. His skin glows. He caught the sun too, and his hair is longer, flopping over his forehead. I'm one lucky, lucky girl. He grasps my chin, pulling me slightly so that I stop biting my lip and runs his thumb along my lower lip. That's better. He turns and strides over to the impressive armoire that houses his clothes. He produces 2 pairs of metal handcuffs and an airline eye mask from the bottom drawer. Yep, here we go. Definitely yo-yoed. Definitely did the I'm not mad thing and then is going to do. Oh, I just remembered what he does. Oh, fuck. I forgot about it. I had forgotten. I know what he's about to do, and it's a definitively dark and evil thing. It just if I had an ounce of like thinking that he is not the worst up till now, this would be the thing that takes it. I'm already there though. I have been for a long time, but yeah, his like definitively a monster scene is right here. Wow, we are moving at a clip tonight. We're gonna be done like we've only got 5 more pages. And we read to the quota. We're gonna be done very early. It's because I've been just focused on the reading and not bantering so much because I'm not feeling well. But excuse me. Lost my place, lost my place. Lower lip. It's better in 2 pairs of metal handcuffs and an airline eye mask from the bottom drawer. Handcuffs. We've never used handcuffs. Is that true? Is that actually true? I don't think that's true. I feel like they did use handcuffs at some point. Or maybe it's just because it's so common. I'm going, how did they not in a BDSM book? It's going to be the first book club where I'm actually drinking during it and I've had 1 glass of wine. That's also why we're moving at a decent clip. I'm not wasted. Because I really didn't want to drink tonight, but it's tradition. And 1 glass is not going to kill me. But not getting a blanket might. I'm so cold. And partly it's late here and it is cold. Like my desk is very cold to the touch. Because the heat here sucks. We've never used handcuffs. I glance quickly and nervously at the bed. Where the hell is he going to attach those? This is what straps under the bed are for. These can be quite painful. They can bite into the skin if you pull too hard. He holds up one pair, but I really want to use them on you now. Yeah, that's why in every body cam police video ever, people complain about the cuffs hurting or being uncomfortable, because yes, they can be. Okay, I'm giving in. I'm giving myself a treat. I'm putting the handcuffs on. I've only got a few pages left. Yeah, see, if you put them on like that, though, it's worth noting, I can get my finger through here right now. Because I always see cops going, well, I can get my finger in it, it's not too tight. These are too tight right now. Because I have clicked them way too tight. Like they are really pressing on my wrist and they hurt. These are too tight and you can still get a finger in. So I'm sorry, but that's not the definitive. See, you should be able to do this at least. Now, granted, some people could slip this. I'm not one of them, but yeah. Oh, now I got it out of place. Damn it. Okay, yeah, I like them high. Ow. Oh, I gotta turn this. It's too tight. I can't. Why can I not get these positioned tonight? You'd think I'd never done this before. And now there's lipstick on my hand. Okay, no, this one is actually bothering me. I think I put it on in the exact same spot as before and it's still sore. How long do bone bruises take to heal? Just look this up. Oh, I actually do need to look up some research on bruises. So I know in general, like everybody knows in general. Oh, why do I have to itch right now? Oh, in general, like how long bruises take to heal, but specific bruises in specific places is a different matter. And so that I don't sound like this author, I like to do my research and make sure I get my facts right. In the last part alone, I had to research so much stuff. I did not know that there are different types of forceps. I don't just mean like in terms of like size. I meant the kind that like they use to deliver the baby. That kind. There's different kinds of that. Hello, Nightwolf Bam. I forgot about. Are you not getting my messages? No, I am not. Hold on. No, I've not been seeing any messages in the chat at all. I've been wondering about that. No, I've not seen anything in the chat all night. And the last thing I saw was Susie is me. That's the last comment I got. And no, I'm not getting your messages on Discord either. You like my white hat and seeing the puppy? Okay, I'm glad you're able to chat now. I'm sorry that we're almost done, but I did take a screenshot of me in the hat. I didn't even have it on properly. I'll send you a better picture after. But no, I've not seen any. I should have checked on this earlier. I'm sorry, I didn't. I've not seen any comments in the chat. You know what? Let me pull up the YouTube view for a second. I want to see if it's there. Well, I mute myself. Chat takes a minute to come up. Come on, YouTube. I really want to know, what have they done to their chat that it now, like, a video will load and it will start to play and the chat will take like 5 minutes to load. Because it's just a blank square right now. There's literally nothing. It doesn't even say like chat at the top. Nope, no messages. That could be YouTube screwing up. I figured you were, but no, I've not been getting any messages. Oh, my screen is still displaying. It shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, I had a feeling you were around, but no, I've not been getting any messages from anybody. I've not been getting your messages on Discord. I don't know what's up with Discord. I've never seen it do that unless you've accidentally blocked me somehow. Or I've accidentally blocked you somehow, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. It might just be Discord being Discord, but thank you for jumping in on your Twitch channel to say hi. That's very sweet. I'm glad to hear from you. I'm glad you're here. Do you like the handcuffs? They were talking about handcuffs. I had to do it. I tried to lure Mark here. It doesn't seem like he's coming. He's very busy. He's back at school now, so he's like buried under papers and, reading 1,000-page legal books. Yeah, I'm feeling good enough. I'm trying to see how many pages is the next chapter, because I'm considering it. It's 20 though. It's a lot. All right, let's get through this and we'll see where we is. My lucky girl. His eyes dark and luminous. Again, he's just pulled the rug so far out. He's gonna, because I know what he does here, and I'm stalling for a reason because it's really disturbing. It's possibly the singular most disturbing thing to me that he does, and that's saying a lot, because he does a lot of disturbing things. But this one, wow. I'm going to read like the first paragraph of the next chapter at least, because it's broken in a bad place, and I want to bitch. Who never used handcuffs. I glanced quickly and nervously at the bed. Where is he going to attach those? He turned to stay dark and luminous. These can be quite painful. They can bite into the skin if you pull too hard. He holds up one pair, but I really want to use them on you now. Yeah, so he's already saying, like, I'm going to hurt you, even though he just told her that he doesn't want to hurt her anymore because she's not a submissive. She's a wife now. So she's gone from whore to Madonna. Again, E.L. James really likes the idea of the Madonna whore complex, but she's only read the title, so she doesn't understand what it's really about. Holy fuck, my mouth goes dry. Here, he stalks gracefully towards me and hands me a set. Do you want to try them first? They feel solid and metal cold. Vaguely, I hope I never have to wear a pair of these for real. Yeah, I hope I don't get arrested. Honey, you're rich. Your laws don't apply to me level rich, as Christian has displayed more than once. Christian's watching me intently. Where are the keys? My voice wavers. He holds out his palm, revealing a small metallic key. This does both sets. In fact, all sets. How many sets does he have? I don't remember seeing any in the museum chest. No, I think they were on the walls, though. He strokes my cheek with his index finger, trailing it down to my mouth, and leans in as if to kiss me. Do you want to play? He says. His voice low, and everything in my body heads south as my desire unfurls deep in my belly. E.L. James, you know she's a woman, right? Because you pretty much just described a guy getting a boner. Yes, I breathe. He smiles. Good. He plants a feather-like kiss on my forehead. We're going to need a safe word. What? Stop won't be enough because you'll probably say that, but you won't mean it. He runs his nose down mine, the only contact between us. See, he's setting her up! I'm taking a minute to bitch. He is setting her up so fucking hard right now. He is being so manipulative and so very dangerous right now. Because he has told, again, this is proof of the gaslighting and the yo-yoing that I was talking about. This is exactly what it is. Because he told her, I don't want to hurt you. I'm not going to punish you. You're not my submissive. You're my wife. Yet look at his actions. Look at what he is actually doing. He is treating her like his submissive. He is going to hurt her. He has said that. He said, these hurt. I want to use them on you anyway. He has said that. So he's doing the violence equivalent of I'm not touching you. You know, when your little brother would like stick their finger an inch away from your face and do the I'm not touching you thing, and you'd go, Mom, and she'd go, shut up, I hate you both right now. Or like, I'm going to kill you both, or two of you. You know, this is when your parents send you to separate rooms and tell you to stay away from each other because they've had enough of you. But yeah, I know I'm laughing, but he is doing the violence equivalent of that. He is saying that he is not. He's doing. It's like the stop hitting yourself thing when your brother. Again, I'm using sibling analogy here. It's when your brother is making you slap yourself in the face with your own hand and says, "Stop hitting yourself. Why are you hitting yourself?" That's what he is doing to her here. Because he's saying, I'm not going to hurt you, followed by hurting her. Thus implying that if he is doing it, and it is this thing, that does not qualify as hurting her somehow. And what he's doing, he's not doing this for his benefit. He's getting off on it, yes. But this is conditioning. This is programming. This is brainwashing. This is what pimps do, literally. Including the love bombing. But yeah. This is disgusting. This is when their relationship is just fully and outrightly just abusive and nothing else. Like, again, if this was real, she doesn't survive the honeymoon. Or if by some miracle she does, maybe he can't kill her and throw her body in the ocean because security would ask questions. She doesn't survive 6 months of the marriage. She goes missing, like, in the ocean, fell out of Charlie Tango 2. Yeah, he kills her, is the end. That is how this ends. Like, I really, 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 really want two things. I want a psychiatrist and channel that oh, okay, yes, Discord is working now. I see you. Message came through. Don't know about YouTube. Try and say something in the chat. I'll see if it comes up. But I see you on Discord now. It's working. Don't know if they're in the chat, so I'm just sending a hey, I see you message. Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, they're just showing me. They did try to message me and it just didn't work. Yeah, Discord was just having a nutty. It does that sometimes. I don't know why. I've had it do it to me too a couple times where it just doesn't. I don't know why, but it just suddenly will stop working. And sometimes it doesn't tell you that it's not working. Like, you'll think of message sent and then you look back an hour later and it's got the red message under it saying failed to send, and it's like, what? You didn't tell me that. Thought it was being ignored. It's YouTube. I have been seeing the last few days. I've seen several people commenting that the YouTube chats and the comments are screwed up. They've changed something and they screwed it up. So I have heard that said the last few days, a couple of people, that something is wrong with the YouTube chats. And also, Christian Grey loses points for using non-safety cuffs that need an actual key, because like as you've seen, these have the button on them. See? They have the little switch that I press to let myself out. Yes, they have keys. There are keys to these. I have them somewhere. But always use safety cuffs in bondage. I don't care how much you trust somebody. Always use safety cuffs. Always, no matter what you're using as the method of restraint, always, always, always make sure that the person who is being restrained has the ability to free at least one of their hands. That is just basic safety. And no, it is not like a question of trust or taking it to the next level, or like you're not extreme enough if you won't let me use real handcuffs. Anybody who is demanding to put you in a totally inescapable restraint position, be sus of this person. I'm not talking about a Japanese bondage art show, that's different. Or any complex like Japanese kinds of bondage where, yes, they are somewhat inescapable. But again, there are ways around that. You account for it, you make it safe. That is the key thing that E.L. James did not take into account, or possibly just, she, like we said, she didn't do any research on this. She didn't ask anybody in the BDSM community. She didn't call up a dominatrix and get, or a dom, and get like their point of view on how this really works. She didn't go to a class or anything. So yeah, the one thing that she misses out on is something that I was taught as one of the core tenets of ever doing a scene is safety. You always keep safety first and foremost, and you, as the dom, as the person in charge, you are responsible for your submissive safety at all times. And Christian Grey has none of that. And that's why the one thing I hate is that supposedly he has taken BDSM classes, and that's where he used to hunt for his subs. Though I personally like to think he sat like in the back of the room, didn't pay attention to anything, was texting on his Crackberry the whole time, and he was only there to find subs because it was a place that he knew he could find submissive women. So I have a theory that that's the only reason he ever went to classes. Because he clearly wasn't paying any attention, or the classes were terrible. Also, how creepy is it that he is telling her, stop won't be enough, you will probably say that, but you won't mean it. Again, that is BDSM 101. That's why I always have to remind myself when I'm having an intimate moment that is in a non-BDSM setting that the other person will take my saying no seriously, because that is something I like to do in certain role plays. But that's why I will establish with somebody that I use the traffic light system, because again, this is BDSM 101. Green means go, yellow means slow down, red means stop. And it's the most common system for checking on each other. And yes, in BDSM scenes, it's true. You don't use stop doesn't mean stop, because yeah, people will frequently say stop. It's like, when you're tickling a kid too much. In my case as a child, I meant it because it caused asthma attacks. Not that anyone ever respected that, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, you don't use stop or no as safe words ever, and because they do get like that is part of the setting in a BDSM setting, is you say those things like, but you don't mean them. That's true. But she is not a true submissive. She is not a natural submissive. She has not been trained. She doesn't know the psychological inner workings of it. He supposedly does, but he's not telling her that. Like seriously, if your lover, if your husband said to you, I have painful handcuffs that I want to use on you, and we need a safe word because you're definitely going to tell me to stop. Like, how is this? Can somebody clip that for me, please? Ugh. 11:04 time code. So like 3 hours in. I was a couple minutes late. But yeah, please clip that and put it in my Discord, because if you there's a reason this scene is so heavily altered in the movie. Because I don't think that line is in the movie. I'm gonna have to pull it up and check now. Later. I'm not gonna do it right now because I'll get copyrighted. But I'm going to check if that line is in the movie because I'm betting that it's not. Because one thing I do know, because I saw this in an interview with Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson, um, they even said that most of the sex scenes had been heavily changed from the book because just certain things when you say them out loud are creepy by nature, and some of the things he does are creepy. And so they changed it to make, like, Dornan even said in interviews while the movies were still coming out that um they changed things to make him less stalkery. Hi, Persnickety, I'm so glad to see you. Hi, Sasha. Hi, pretty girl. You're so pretty. Give her loves for me. Did she get her popcorn? She earned it. How's she doing healing wise? Is she coming along? Is she allowed outdoor privileges yet, or is she still sulking on the couch? Poor thing. But we're at the he has masterfully to catch you up. Here's where we are. He's told her he's not going to hurt her. While he's extremely mad at her for appearing topless on the beach, he has yo-yoed and gaslit her for the last 20 minutes, trying to convince her that he's not mad, while secretly he is furious. And said he has pulled out handcuffs. Somehow this is their first time using handcuffs. And is now is saying that not only he told her that the handcuffs, after telling her I don't want to hurt you because you're my wife and not a submissive. Yes. I have an I do what I'm told counter started. I'm up to 9 because that's how many times she said I do as I'm told when he orders her. I'm also going to have an he orders and he commands count, which is currently, I believe, at a 6. But yes, and now as he's saying, I want to handcuff you to the bed on this boat that they're chartering for the honeymoon, we get the line, and I've been ranting about this for 5 minutes. I'm going to stop. He says, we're going to need a safe word. What? Stop won't be enough because you'll probably say that, but you won't mean it. So no, I don't want to hurt you, baby. I just want to put painful handcuffs on you and do something that will cause you to say the word stop, and I have no intention of stopping when you say stop. So we need a safe word. My heart starts pounding. Shit. How can he do this with just words? I can make people feel a lot of things with just words. This is not going to hurt. It will be intense. Very intense. Because I'm not going to let you move, okay? He is lying his fucking ass off. Yeah, thank you! Thank you! Yes, he does! Thank you! That is also where I'm going, what the fuck? Because I am 99% certain they discussed safe words in the first book when they were talking about the contract. I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure she picked one. I think the first time he takes her to the red room, he says, did you choose a safe word? And she tells him what it is. I don't remember what it is, but I am like certain that she chose one and told it to him because, yes, that is BDSM 101. You always have that. So, no, he would not be telling her right now what it is. Like, I swear that she knows this already. I swear to God she does. Oh my. Oh my. That sounds so hot. My breathing is too loud. No safe words are not voided upon marriage. Though we've also had a disgusting amount of "you are mine" comments as well. At least a dozen. Thank heavens I'm married to this man, otherwise this would be embarrassing. My eyes flick down to his arousal. I got news for you, honey. This is embarrassing even though you're married. Okay. My voice is barely audible. Choose a word, Anna. Oh, a safe word, he says softly. Popsicle, I say, panting. Popsicle, he says, amused. Yes. It's pretty decent as a safe word. You do need to pick something obscure and random so that there's no way you would wind up saying it, like, as part of conversation or during a scene. That's why, like, some people try to pick a color, and it's colors are not good. Colors, numbers, names, not good safe words. Now I'm cold again. Damn it. Having a fever sucks. Yeah, right. I know. Seriously. Because he said, you're going to say stop, but you won't mean it. And obviously making it clear he has no intention of stopping whatever she is objecting to. Just being very open about the fact that she has, like, no say in the matter at all. He's gonna do whatever he wants because he literally owns her now in his mind. Yes, he grins and leans back to gaze down at me. Interesting choice. Lift up your arms. I do, and Christian grasps the hem of my sundress, lifts it over my head, and tosses it on the floor. He holds out his hand, and I give him back the handcuffs. He places both sets on the bedside table along with the blindfold and yanks the quilt off the bed, letting it fall to the floor. Turn around. I turn, and he undoes my bikini top so it falls to the floor. Tomorrow I will staple this to you, he mutters and tugs on my hair tie, freeing my hair. Part of me believes him. Part of me absolutely believes that he would staple it onto her to teach her a lesson. Kind of surprised he doesn't. Maybe Yale James felt that was a little too creepy. Hello to the person who just came in. He gathers it in one hand and yanks gently, so I step back against him. Again, always controlling her by the hair. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it every single time. Against his chest, against his erection. I gasp as he pulls my head to one side and kisses my neck. You were very disobedient, he murmurs in my ear, sending delicious shivers through me. Oh, so gross. Yes, I whisper. What are we going to do about that? Learn to live with it, I breathe. That is the correct answer. Screw you. Yeah, that's true. She forgot she wrote the threat. It's true. There've been a couple, like, repeated lines almost on top of each other in here too. Like, she got really lazy by this point. I think the editor should just give it up. His soft, languid kisses are driving me wild. He grins against my neck. Ah, Mrs. Gray, you are ever the optimist. Meaning, again, he's telling her, no, you're not going to continue to disobey me. He straightens, taking my hair, and he carefully splits it into 3 strands, braids it slowly, and then fastens my my hair tie to the end. Oh, always with the braiding. So again, yes, he's treating her, even after telling her, "You're my wife, not my sub." What is he doing? He's braiding her hair. I have hiccups. He's braiding her hair like he does to his subs. So again, he's saying no, but he's doing the yes. He's saying, like, I'm not hurting you while he's hurting her. Which is just the most direct form of gaslighting. He tugs my braid gently and leans down to my ear. I'm going to teach you a lesson, he murmurs. That's just so creepy. Like, you just picture it in, like, serial killer voice, and yeah, he's just gone full serial killer here. Freaking hiccups. Moving suddenly, he grabs me by the waist, sits down on the bed, and yanks me across his knee so I feel his erection pressed against my belly. He smacks my backside once, hard. I yelp, and then I'm on my back on the bed, and he's gazing down at me, his eyes molten gray. I'm about to combust. Do you know how beautiful you are? He trails his fingertips up my thigh so that I tingle. everywhere. Without taking his eyes off mine, he gets up from the bed and gathers both sets of handcuffs. He grasps my left leg and snaps one cuff around my ankle. By the way, standard handcuffs will not fit around most people's ankles. There are ankle cuffs, but they're different. I still have no idea where he's going to attach them. Sit up, he orders, and I comply immediately. Now hug your knees. I blink at him, then draw my legs up so they're bent in front of me, and wrap my arms around them. He reaches down, lifts my chin, and plants a soft, wet kiss on my lips before slipping the blindfold over my eyes. I can see nothing. All I can hear is my rapid breathing and the sound of water lapping against the sides of the yacht as she bobs gently on the sea. Oh my, I'm so aroused already. This should be terrifying. What's the safe word, Anastasia? Popsicle. Good. Taking my left hand, he snaps a cuff around my wrist, then repeats the process with my right. My left hand is tied to my left ankle, my right hand to my right leg. I cannot straighten my legs. Holy fuck. This is one pose that I would hate so badly. Now, Christian breathes. I'm going to fuck you till you scream. See, the thing is, there's not even like a little chance that he means screaming in the good way. Not even a little bit. Okay, I've been laughing too much. I have to be. I'll be right back. 2 seconds. I promise I will be very quick this time. Yes! Yes, she is! Yes! I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, Sasha, don't abandon me. I'll be right 2 seconds. Does not help that my bathroom has no heat. So cold. Hey, it's working. Well, no, that's on Twitch, so YouTube's still not working. gotta highlight the I'm gonna fuck you till you scream line, because that's. Oh, yeah. And the stop won't be enough. You'll probably say that, but you won't mean it. I'm gonna need another highlighter before this is over. I have extras. What? And all the air leaves my body. He scared her to death. He grasps both of my heels and tips me back so that I fall backward on the bed. I have no choice but to keep my legs bent. The cuffs tighten as I pull against them. He's right. They cut into me almost to the point of pain. Okay, E.L. James, you're a fucking liar. You are just straight up a fucking liar, because she has got her wrists are cuffed to her ankles with no chain in between. So her body is like scrunched up super tight, and he just knocked her over, which will literally just make her strain against the cuffs. He knows that he is hurting her. He is literally just abusing her right now. This is not sexy at all, and he's not intending it to be sexy. He's mad, and he's being violent. And I'm sorry, but that is not almost to the point of pain. She would be in real pain from this. And probably quite quickly, like severely uncomfortable, keeping her body in that position for very long. This feels weird, being trussed up and helpless on a boat. That would be the difference, because he already put her in this position once already. She was kneeling on a table. So he's trussed her up before, but not on a boat. It's true, on a boat. He pulls my ankles apart and I groan. He kisses my inner thigh and I want to squirm beneath him, but I can't. I have no purchase to move my hips. My feet are suspended. I cannot move. This is torture. You're going to have to absorb all the pleasure, Anna. No moving. This is not sexy. He murmurs as he crawls up my body and kissing me along the edge of my bikini bottoms. He pulls the string on each side and the scraps of material fall away. I'm now naked and at his mercy. Well, you've been here before, so at least you know that way. He kisses my belly, nipping my navel with his teeth. Ah, I sigh. This is going to be tough. I had no idea. Nice to admit that she's completely clueless and has no idea what is going on. Not that that's ever stopped her. He traces soft kisses and bites up to my breasts. Yep, we're getting there. Oh, this is just so evil. Shh, he soothes. You're so beautiful, Anna. I groan, frustrated. Normally I'd be grinding my hips, responding to his touch with a rhythm of my own, but I cannot move. I moan, pulling on my restraints. The metal bites into my skin. Yes. Ugh, I cry, but I really don't care. You drive me crazy, he whispers. So I'm going to drive you crazy. See, this is more of that tit for tat bullshit. It's you did something to me I don't like, so now I'm going to do something to you you won't like. But this is just blatant, deliberate, openly abuse. That's all it is. This is just domestic violence and abuse. He's resting on me now, his weight on his elbows, and he turns his attention to my breasts, biting and sucking, rolling my nipples between his fingers and thumb. I forgot that was there. I'm not gonna puke. I'm not gonna puke. I'm not gonna puke. I'm not gonna puke. Driving me wild. He doesn't stop. It's maddening. Oh, please. His erection pushes against me. Christian, I beg, and feel his triumphant smile against my skin. Shall I make you come this way? Still spelling come wrong. Third book. Still cannot spell come. He murmurs against my nipple, causing it to harden some more. You know I can. He sucks me hard and I cry. Can totally imagine he's sucking a dick right there. Just right there. He sucks me hard and I cry out. There you go. Pleasure lancing from my chest directly to my groin. I pull helplessly on the cuffs, swamped by the sensation. Yes, I whisper. Oh, baby, that would be too easy. Oh, please. Again with the edging, like he has to control not just her entire body every time. He and he alone decides when she can orgasm. It's just absolutely a thing now. I mean, not that it ever wasn't. It's been that way since they met, but his teeth scrape my chin as he trails his lips to my mouth and I gasp. He kisses me. His skilled tongue invades my mouth, tasting, exploring, dominating. But my tongue meets his challenge. My tongue meets his challenge, writhing against him. He tastes of cool gin and Christian Grey. He smells of the sea. So he not only has his own smell, he has his own taste. I wish I wasn't shivering so much. He grasps my chin, holding my head in place. Still, baby, I want you still. He whispers against my mouth. I want to see you. Oh no, Anna, you'll feel more this way. So she just said she wants the blindfold off, and he's refusing. And agonizingly slowly, he flexes his hips and pushes part way into me. I would normally tilt my pelvis up to meet him, but I can't move. He withdraws. Ah, Christian, please. Again, he teases, his voice hoarse. Christian. He pushes fractionally into me again, then withdraws while kissing me, his fingers tugging at my nipple. It's pleasure overload. No. Do you want me, Anastasia? Yes, I bet. She said she wants the blindfold off. She's already telling him no. And he's just absolutely awful. And we're not even at the worst part yet. Do you want me, Anastasia? Yes, I beg. Tell me, he murmured. Oh, he's doing the say my name thing. His breathing harsh, and he teases me once more. In and out. He's putting it in like this much just to annoy her. It's such an evil thing to do. I want you, I whimper. Please. I hear his soft sigh in my ear. And you will have me you will, Anastasia. He rears up and slams into me. Is he a horse? I scream, tilting my head back, pulling on the restraints as he hits my sweet spot. I don't think she was screaming in pleasure there if he's slamming into her with no warning. And I'm all sensation everywhere. Sweet, sweet agony, and I cannot move. Oh, he spiked. Oh, how did I not say this earlier? He made her chug a gin and tonic. He spiked it, obviously. That's why he demanded that she chug it. But as we said, he adds roofies to a lot of her food. But yeah, he definitely spiked the drink. I should have seen it at the time. I'm losing my touch. I didn't see it. But yeah, because he orders the drink and then he orders her to chug it immediately and then immediately takes her to the bedroom. He spiked the drink. He stills, then circles his hips. The motion radiates deep inside me. Would that actually work? Like if a guy was in you and actually did that, would you even feel it? Because I'm kind of going with no. Why do you defy me, Anna? Christian, stop. He circles deep inside me again, ignoring my plea, easing out slowly, then slamming into me again. Tell me, why? He hisses, and I'm vaguely aware that it's through gritted teeth. He's literally interrogating / punishing her with his penis right now. Because even though he did the whole, he never said he wasn't mad. But he changed his demeanor and whipped her around on a jet ski to make her laugh, and then tried to pretend they were just going to have a casual drink. And then I said, he's secretly still fuming. He's going to do something really evil. And this is just all of it. Because he's like making it like he's going to make love to her. And he's instead just abusing her and he's punishing her because of the topless thing and the fact that he's insane. I cry out in an incoherent wail. This is too much. Tell me. Christian, Anna, I need to know. He slams into me again, thrusting so deep, and I'm building. The feeling is so intense. It swamps me, spiraling out from deep within my belly to each limb, to each biting metal restraint. I don't know, I cry out, because I can, because I love you. Please, Christian. He's literally painfully fucking her while demanding to know, why did you disobey me, wife? Like, this feels like it should be being read in a courtroom. Like, if I ever get one, oh yeah, I was saying earlier, there's a channel called Cinema Therapy. I highly recommend it. It's both very educational and very hilarious. And it's one of the people on it is a real licensed psychiatrist, and they have said publicly. The other guy is a filmmaker in his own right, and they have said publicly they will never review the 50 Shades series and comment on it because it is too infuriating. I need them to do that. I need them to give a true psychological profile of Christian Grey. I also need a lawyer to join them and document for us the many crimes of Christian Grey, the complete list, right from page 1 all the way through. Yeah, it's not. I can confirm. It is not a sign of making love or love of any kind if you're painfully fucking your wife while having immobilized her and she is begging you to stop. And while he's having like this mental argument of like, why did you disobey me thing too, like, ugh. Like, this is the Handmaid's Tale scene where Fred whips Serena with the belt. It's the same thing, because he did that because she disobeyed him. This is the same thing, just with fucking. And that scene originally, that is the only scene in Handmaid's Tale that ever changed once it got to production, because he was supposed to fuck her in that scene. He was supposed to throw Serena on the desk and have Offred hold her down the same way it's reversed in the ceremony. It was the reverse ceremony. He was supposed to rape his wife in that scene. Ray Fiennes refused to do the scene. He said it was too much. He couldn't do it. So they changed it to him whipping her with a belt. Though he did say that when he signed onto the show, he and his wife decided that she can never watch the show because she could never see him as that character doing those things. Because I can, because I love you, please, Christian. He groans loudly and thrusts deep again and again, over and over, and I'm lost trying to absorb the pleasure. You meant to write pain there. My mind, it's mind-blowing, body-blowing. I long to straighten my legs, to control my imminent orgasm, but I can't. I'm helpless. I'm his. Just his, to do with as he wills. Said the quiet part out loud. Just outright said it. Of course this is getting highlighted. Jesus Christ. I'm helpless. I'm his. Just his, to do with as he wills. Okay. Yep. Just blatantly. Yep. Just okay. Like half a page left and I'm dying. Tears spring to my eyes. This is too intense. I can't stop him. I don't want to stop him. I think you do. I want. Oh no. Oh no. This is too. There's a bunch of dots in between. She's having like disconnected thoughts. That's it, Christian growls. Feel it, baby. Oh, I'm gonna throw up after this for sure. I detonate around him again and again, around and around, screaming loudly as my orgasm rips me apart. Scorching through me like a wildfire, consuming everything. I'm wrung ragged, tears streaming down my face, my body left pulsing and shaking. I'm aware that Christian. Uh, and I'm aware that Christian kneels still inside me, pulling me upright onto his lap. Ow. And clutches my head with one hand and my back with the other. He comes violently inside me while my insides continue to tremble with aftershocks. It's draining. It's exhausting. So she's absolutely bawling her eyes out. Because that's a sign of good sex. It's draining, it's exhausting, it's hell, it's heaven, it's hedonism gone wild. Honey, it wasn't that good. She really does. She really does. Like, there is nothing in this entire scene that I would ever want to do. Okay. Yeah, it's almost impressive in like a creepy, weird, sick way. Is it raining? It might be. That might be why my sinuses are kicking off so much worse. Christian tears off the blindfold and kisses me. I forgot she was blindfolded too. He kisses my eyes, my nose, and my cheeks. He kisses away the tears, clutching my face between his hands. I'm highlighting that. Kissing away the tears definitely gets. Yep. I love you, Mrs. Gray. No, you don't. He breathes. Even though you make me feel so mad, I feel so alive with you. I don't have the energy to open either my eyes or my mouth. I don't have the energy to open either my eyes or my mouth to respond. Very gently, he lays me back on the bed and eases out of me. I mouth some wordless protest. He climbs off the bed and undoes the handcuffs. When I'm free, he gently rubs my wrists and ankles, then lies down beside me, pulling me into his arms. I stretch out my legs. Oh my, that feels good. I feel good. That was, without a doubt, the most intense climax I've ever endured. Do you really want to use the word endured there? Again, the heck, damn it. A Christian Grey 50 Shades punishment fuck. I really must misbehave more often. All of the ick. A pressing need from my bladder wakes me. When I open my eyes, I'm disoriented. Oh yeah, because he also told her not to pee beforehand. I have heard that if you need to pee and you don't, it makes your orgasm more intense. I don't know if that's true. A pressing need from my bladder wakes me. When I open my eyes, I'm disoriented. It's dark outside. Where am I? London? Paris? Oh, the boat. I feel her pitch and roll and hear the quiet hum of the engines. We're on the move. How odd. Christian is beside me working on his laptop, casually dressed in white linen shirt and chino trousers, his feet bare. His hair is still wet and I can smell his body wash fresh from the shower, and his Christian smell. At least this time we're not being hit with the description of what he smells like every single fucking time. Hi, he murmurs, gazing down at me, his eyes warm. Hi, I smile, feeling suddenly shy. How long have I been asleep? Just an hour or so. We're moving? I figured since we ate out last night, we'd head to the ballet and casino, that we'd dine on board tonight. Quite a night adieu. I grin at him. Where are we going? Canes. Okay. I stretch, feeling stiff. No amount of training with Claude could have prepared me for this afternoon. I rise gingerly, needing the bathroom. Grabbing my silk robe, I hastily put it on. Why am I so shy? Because he just programmed you, you idiot. You're shy and feeling the need to cover up because he got mad at you for being topless on the beach, and then he punished you painfully for doing so. Part of your brain got the fucking message. Cover yourself up or he'll do it again, and worse. That is why you're doing it. And that's why he did it. Exactly that reason. Oh, yeah. No, Taylor got mad at her for being topless too because Christian was mad at him for somehow allowing it. Yeah, probably. I feel Christian's eyes on me. When I glance at him, he returns to his laptop, his brow furrowed. As I absent-mindedly wash my hands at the vanity unit, recalling last night at the casino, my robe falls open. I stare at myself in the mirror, shocked. Holy fuck, what has he done to me? That's the end of the chapter, but I'm going to read one more line because I need to be able to comment on this because I know what it is. And also, you should never, just, what has he done to me? Just that alone is grounds for divorce. But what he has done, I'm going to stop here, but what he has done is, I gaze in horror at the red marks all over my breasts. Hickeys. I have hickeys. I'm married to one of the most respected businessmen in the United States, and he's given me goddamn hickeys. How did I not feel him doing this to me? Because you were passed out on drugs. This is the only fucking explanation for why he was able to put blazingly red hickeys all over her boobs and her chest while she was sleeping. This is the only explanation. I don't care that he just fucked her into oblivion. She would not have been sleeping deeply enough to not feel being given like a couple dozen hickeys on her boobs. And also the fact that he did that, and he's going to say that he did it so she can't take her top off in public anymore. Which is a whole gross thing by itself. So not only has he punished her when she did nothing wrong, the staff is mad at her for misbehaving. He just painfully fucked her while she told him to stop and beg for mercy. And now he has physically marred her body to make her cover up. This is exactly the same as guy who doesn't want his girlfriend to go out with her friends, so he pops her one and gives her a black eye, knowing that she will stay inside the house out of embarrassment and shame until it heals. So would I. I absolutely would as well. 100%. I would absolutely be topless at all times until the bruises healed. Ugh. Teach him a lesson for once. Not that he'd learn it, he'd just up the ante and do something worse. He'd probably tattoo her. Just put, "This is mine," or "property of Christian Grey." That's what it is. He's going to tattoo property of Christian Grey on her ass. We know that this is possible. And he wouldn't ask permission. He'd just roofie her and do it while she's sleeping. Oh. Well, we have come to an unnaturally early end. We got through the prologue. We got through 2 chapters. I'm not dead yet. I am freezing. Nobody sponsored a duck. I'm disappointed. I wanted another duck. I wanted a friend for Ralph. We didn't get one. Maybe next week. But we're getting into it now. This is marital bliss, 50 Shades style. Dear God. It's only going to get worse. It gets worse. I know it does. I know it does because there's another scene that made it in the movie that is, even in the movie, is the creepiest fucking thing. It's possibly the creepiest actual scene. So it gets worse. We're just getting into it. They've been married for like 2 weeks and he's already this bad. And he's only getting worse. Am I the only person that notices that Christian Grey actually gets worse throughout the books? Like, as he gets more control over her, he just keeps getting worse. Which is very true to life, to be honest, of stalkers. It's true. Oh, he needs to stop. Hi, kitty. Where's my puppy? Bo. Where are you? I think he's on the couch. Bo. They did. That's why they wrote in a lot of extra stuff that's not in the books, like all the stuff about him visiting his mother's grave and resolving his feelings of anger towards her that were fueling his need to beat and whip little brown-haired girls, as he put it. Bo, where are you? Okay, it's very weird that he's not coming. Bo, where are you? Bo, come here. Now I'm worried. Where the hell is he? Bo! Bo, come here. Okay, I have to go find the dog. I'll be right back. Bo, where are you? Where are you, baby? Yeah, you're on the couch. What are you doing? What are you doing? You just sleeping? Okay, you're just sleeping. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You sleepy? Yeah. Come on, cuddle. Come on, cuddle. There's a good boy. I got him. He's my good boy. I think he was just asleep. I'm sorry for waking you, but I'll cuddle you, so it'll be worth it. Come here. Yeah. Come here. Yeah. Hi. There we are. There's a puppy. Oh, you're all warm because you're all curled up. Good boy. Wow, I'm really noticing how cold it is in here that he feels so warm. It's not just because I'm sick, it's freezing in here. Oh, and persnickety, you missed something earlier. I found out something about the behind the scenes of the movies that I didn't know before. Maybe you knew this. But I guess on one of the DVD extras, the costume, the wardrobe department, and the like creative people from the movie, the first one, the first time we see her going to interview him, and she's standing outside and looks up at the building, and it's supposed to be like, oh, it's intimidating and blah blah blah. And she was always dressed so weird. She had that blue Paddington coat, and then she was wearing like a flower dress that looks like it's, from the 1930s underneath, and then with a sweater over it. It was very weird. And I always wondered what the hell was with the wardrobe, because she doesn't dress like that at any other time in the movie. It's really out of character. It's weird. We never see those clothes again. And it's just a very weird choice for going to a business office to do an interview, that she's not even dressed casually, but now I know why. Oh, you did get snow here? Okay, yeah. I've been wondering when we're going to get it, because I've been feeling it coming the last few days. And now I know why she's dressed so weird in that scene, and it's because they deliberately, and they said this out loud, we're trying to make her look like a child on the first day of school. What the fuck, people? Like, they already knew that they had issues with, like, the relationship in the book. They were already getting massive backlash for even making the movies because they're like, you're portraying violence as sexy, which, yes, they are. But they were going to do it anyway because money. Uh, but then to add on to that, you already know there's going to be backlash. You're already having to do rewrites from day one to make him less of a monster and try and make him more human and not the worst, and failing. And you decide to then, because the other criticism is that Anastasia is too naive to exist. She's too stupid. She's too naive. No grown woman is really going to be like this. She puts up with too much. She's too much of a doormat. And then you just say, like, we're just going to blatantly infantilize her right at the beginning. We're just going to dress her as a child when she meets the love interest. Like, I can't prove it was C.L. James's suggestion, but it wouldn't surprise me because she's clearly got an infantilism thing. Because it is in these books. There's been a few times where she's very infantilized and called a child or treated like a child. It's way worse in the other series. But here at least, dear God. But, oh, yes, hi, puppy. Oh, okay, hi. Say hi. Say hi to people. Okay? Say we're going to go to bed now. I'm going to go to bed and be a cuddle puppy. And I like it in the bed because I get cuddled and wrapped in blankets. Sometimes protected from the kitty. And I get to steal mommy's shoes. So that will do it for this evening. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I hope you had a lovely time. I hope you're warm wherever you are. I hope you're a lot warmer than I am. But we will be back next week when hopefully I will not be coughing on the dog. And a big fat kitty beside me. Have a good night, everybody. Love on your fur babies. Take care of yourself. Have a good time. I'll see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.